mean, I understand the optimism from Chelsea fans because they're not in Europe, one game a week, super strike force, lots of options. But defensively, I don't think much has changed. The big problems defensively last year, the keeper, we know he's up and down. They brought in Lacroix to add a bit more to that back line, but I still don't. For me, they don't have one outstanding centre-back who you can hang your hat on.
Hold on right there. Levi Colwill, described by Xabi Alonso this week as one of the best centre-backs in the world because of his composure, presence, so complete, so dominant. Are you disagreeing with another Liverpool legend?
I am. I think, when you sometimes travel abroad and you have a drink and it affects you differently. Maybe he's been on the wine. He's a really talented player who's had one proper decent season, really. So start talking about him being world class. I mean, he's silky, he's elegant, he is a nice footballer, but he hasn't got the same physical presence as a Gabriel or a Van Dijk, a Saliba, that type. He's not in the same category. So although he's a talent, and he would probably benefit from playing alongside a more senior, experienced, world-class centre-half, but he isn't that yet, that's for sure.
I think the optimism from Chelsea fans comes from the manager himself, Xabi Alonso. I think the fact that he is there, having had such a great time at Leverkusen and producing the miracle season that he did there to win them after, let's be honest, that club never won anything. That's why they were called Neverkusen up until he took over. I think he's the one that sparks the optimism. There has been quite a lot of recruitment which Chelsea fans were calling for, more experienced, established Premier League names coming in. Morgan Rogers, certainly one of those. Lacroix is one of those. Whether you think he's up to the next level or not is up for debate, but he certainly adds to that defence, there's no doubt about that. I think they strengthen well in the full-back areas with Palestra and Chavarria, although Palestra doesn't make it tonight because of injury. And, I think the optimism comes from that, really. The experience of Welbeck and Henderson is what you've been crying out for at Chelsea.
It is.
There's still a gap.
Yeah, their experience will be key around the training ground, but you need it on the pitch as well. Are they really going to get in Chelsea's best 11 when they play Arsenal, when they play Man City or Liverpool? I'm not sure.
Well, I think Cundy was getting emotional. When the last time they finished 10th, they won the title next season.
Cundy's a great guy, but he's going through a midlife crisis. Have you seen his Barney?
I'm saying nothing, mate.
the thing about...
He probably goes into work on a Harley Davidson.
Oh, you know about that? He actually does go to work on a bike.
You sold yours recently, didn't you?
I bought a speedboat instead. I can tell you, he's actually going to work on a motorbike tonight. You know midlife crisis very well, maybe too well. On the TalkSport Daily last week, our European football expert Kev Hatchard picked out Fulham's Gonzalo Garcia as one of the key signings this window.
What I really like about him is the work rate and the competitive instinct. Coaches would say, even like pickup games, like kickabouts, he'd be a nightmare because he'd treat them like a Champions League final. Like, he just never wants to lose anything. And his rise has been very impressive, and Arbeloa was a central figure in that because he was in charge of the youth sides and he gave Garcia plenty of game time. Garcia rewarded him by scoring loads of goals. And then it was Xabi Alonso that opened the door for him at the Club World Cup. And nobody expected him to play much. Certainly nobody expected him to score much. He's somebody that isn't necessarily always a straight number 9. He can play wide. He's got pace. He can link. He can run in behind. Very smart young footballer.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's Kev Hatchard talking about Garcia, who's up front tonight for Fulham. I was about to say Real Madrid there. They're playing white. Scored a superb hat-trick in Xabi Alonso's last game in charge of Real Madrid. They beat Betis 5-1. An unsavable header, a brilliant strike from outside the box, and the kind of back heel finish that would go down well with a glass of champagne. We've just seen the goals. The boy has talent. He's now a Fulham player. My only concern is, was he 22? Josh King behind him is young as well. I'm just one. Palacios is up there as well. He's 22, signed from Real Madrid as well. They've lost experience in Wilson and Jimenez. They've lost goals and creativity with Wilson. They've lost goals with Jimenez. 19 goals between the two of them in the Premier League last season. It's a big ask for a young player.
It is. I mean, he does look a super talent. Technically, his finishing there was really good. He's obviously been around big players, big club with expectations. So I'm sure he'll take, Fulham on reasonably well. There's not that much pressure here from the supporters. But I was just listening to Kevin. I like Kevin Hatchard a lot, but I mean, it's amazing how times change. He's talked about his work rate and his competitive nature, never wants to lose. I mean, that should be a prerequisite for every player in every team in every division in Europe. I mean, that shouldn't be something that is applauded. That should be the bare minimum. Where he's going to fail or succeed is on his quality in front of goal. And you make a great point. Is he going to get the service here at Fulham required for him to get the chances that he needs? So we'll wait and see, but it's an exciting one for the fans.
He was the one who came through under Alonso at the Club World Cup and had a big impact in that tournament, won the Golden Boot at that tournament. But Fulham themselves needed to bring the average age down. I know you talked about losing experience. They were the oldest team in the league last season, so they needed to add a little bit of youthful enthusiasm. I think he's going to bring that, but I share your concerns about creativity in goals.
Well, there's more experience gone as well. Sasa Lukic has gone. Issa Diop has gone, both of those 29. Joachim Anderson is out tonight, suspended. He's 30. Tom Kearney, the captain, 35, out injured tonight. There's a lot of experience missing from Fulham. Some has gone, some not available. That was a look ahead to tonight's Premier League action with Sky Sports. Don't forget that with Now, you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly in minutes. Like Fulham Chelsea, live tonight, stream via internet, terms apply.
Stay ahead of the game on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Fulham versus Chelsea, live today. 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
Well, the sun just setting behind the stand opposite us over the Thames. It's just bursting through the sunshine through the glass at the back of the brand new stand. The pitch looking green and lush, as it should, first day of the season. Keepers out there warming up, fans starting to come into the stadium. There'll be a tribute to Kevin Keegan before the game. This is unthinkable, really, but at the end of the 90s, Kevin Keegan led Fulham to promotion from the third tier of English football. He combined that job with being England manager at the same time. I kid you not. I was reporting on Keegan's first game here after he got the England job. Fulham beat Notts County 2-1 in what is now League One. So you could say the first player to score for Kevin Keegan after he took the England job was Jeff Horsfield. Keegan worked wonders here, set the foundations for what's happening now. He got the club thinking big for the first time since Bobby Moore and George Best were here in the 70s. Keegan had the gravitas, he had the personality, he had everything that could handle a League One job at the same time as he handled the England job as well. If you think it through, it's like Russell Martin also being appointed England manager now. I mean, and keeping the Leicester job. It just wouldn't happen now. Kevin carried it off, and he did it brilliantly as well. I interviewed Kevin after that game. He had all the time in the world, the England manager, all the time in the world, speak to me and the rest of the reporters there. They'll be paying tribute to somebody who's a big figure in the history of Fulham Football Club before kick-off tonight.
Kick-off live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Fulham versus Chelsea, live today. 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
You know that feeling when your Build-A-Bet looks nailed on, then suddenly a late goal lets you down. With new Ghost Leg from Sky Bet, that game may be down, but that doesn't mean you're out. Simply opt in and create a pre-match Build-A-Bet with 5 legs or more. If one leg lets you down, we'll make it vanish and pay out on the remaining legs. Game's back with new Ghost Leg from Sky Bet for the fans. Max 8 varies. Combined minimum odds 3-1. Cash bets only. Eligibility restrictions and further T&Cs apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Mo Farah is learning the ropes.
So, Mo, with Click and Collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Deep lunges. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, Mo. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat my PB one day.
Back in the Mo.
Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Screwfix. No stopping you.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there. His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result. Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
The Big Arch just got bacon. More smokiness, more crispiness, more deliciousness. With juicy beef, cheddar cheese and the Big Arch sauce. now topped with crispy bacon. The Big Arch just got bacon. Until 28th of September 2026, served from 11 a.m, subject to availability.
You know football, and The Sun knows football. So we know that you want the latest football news and analysis round the clock, whether it's the Premier League, EFL or Cup competitions. Plus, must-watch shows like Tactics Exposed from our expert journalists. We don't know if Coventry can cut it back in the big time or whether Arsenal can retain their title, but we do know where you'll find out. Download the Sun app for fans who know football.
In 10 metres, take a left at the pile of washing.
Sorry, what?
At the Valley of Toy Dinosaurs, approach the kitchen with no room to cook. Turn right at the floordrobe. You've reached chaos. Recalculating. Suggest immediate course correction to IKEA for fitted wardrobes, children's storage and cupboard organisers.
Find your way back to calm. Discover smart storage at your local IKEA now. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Kick off live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
White and Jordan. Tomorrow morning from 10 on TalkSport. All killer, no filler conversation.
There's a stupid comment. It's not about right and wrong.
When no topic is off limits.
So what we're talking about is moral confected outrage.
New sporting sound. White and Jordan. Tomorrow morning from 10 on TalkSport.
I really had a great weekend of football. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We've got our magic moments returning on Monday nights this season, so we'll get to those shortly. I'm going to tell you about a little moment that I had at Ipswich as well. Some might think it's a little bit sad, but it was just an emotional moment I had at Ipswich on Saturday. How many people have emotional moments at Ipswich? Well, I did. Let's concentrate on this game, though. Both Fulham and Chelsea have new managers, and they know each other very well.
It's Iniesta to win the World Cup for Spain! That's the goal!
Very good friends until Monday night.
No friends, no past. It's just the 90 minutes that we are playing, fighting for each club.
We will be there on the touchline, so close, and for 90 minutes I think we'll give everything for our clubs.
Very few footballing stories that can rival this one, but for a side to be on the brink of winning a domestic and European treble, and by going unbeaten, would be pretty extraordinary. To be Bayer Leverkusen is bordering on the inconceivable.
The remarkable thing to me is none of it feels like a surprise.
And Real Madrid have been absolutely embarrassed here. The European champions have breezed into the final of the Club World Cup.
My criticism of Xabi Alonso has been that he hasn't really got to grips with managing Real Madrid. We don't see any change in Real Madrid from Ancelotti's version. And I expected different from, not better, but different from Xabi Alonso.
First few months it was going well, and then bad habits started to kick in again.
Alonso wasn't getting that, and then he wasn't getting the support from the president to go and tell the players, look, you have to follow this guy. It was clear for a while that he didn't have the full confidence from the top of the club.
Look at the teams that Álvaro Arbeloa's Real Madrid has lost to, since apparently Xabi Alonso had completely lost control of the dressing room. Since then, Arbeloa has lost to Albacete, Osasuna, Getafe, Benfica and Mallorca. Like, what does that say for him?
Arbeloa, in my opinion, shouldn't be manager of Real Madrid. He's nowhere near qualified. It's the same problems. I think it was absolutely foolish of them to sack Xabi Alonso during the season when they did. And they've put a B-team manager in who was only B-team manager for 6 months this season.
Arteta and Xabi Alonso, they're the only two that have won a major league.
The desire, the ambition, the hunger to start the Premier League is already in the building, in each training, and looking forward to it.
We know will be no easy, and they are a very strong squad with top players. They made also good signings, so we have to be ready. If we want to beat them, we have to do a very good game.
Well, big noise for Fulham as they came out to warm up from the home crowd, of course, and led by the captain Calvin Bassey. Let's talk about the new managers. Arbeloa and Alonso played together for Liverpool and Real Madrid. They won the World Cup together for Spain. They're the last two men to manage Madrid before Mourinho returned. They are so close, they call each other by the same nickname, Truffles, a name that started when Xabi was so frustrated with Arbeloa's poor passing to him in training. He described those passes as truffles. The name's stuck. They call each other Truffles. But just listening there to Andy Brassel talking about Arbeloa, and it's spot on. He should never have got the Real Madrid job. It was absolutely weird. They finished way too far behind Barcelona, having lost El Clasico to Barcelona. Xabi Alonso won the Clasico. Late October, they beat Barcelona to go 5 points clear at the top. They won 13 of the first 14 games. But it was player power forced him out. This is interesting, Danny Murphy, because Vinicius Jr. was the main driver of this, but as we understand it, the rumours are Bellingham, Valverde weren't happy. Kylian Mbappe wasn't one of the main drivers against him, but he openly defied Alonso's instructions to form a tunnel to applaud the Barcelona players after they'd won the Super Copa in Saudi Arabia. So there was dissent from the playing staff. We know that Chelsea players can get their manager the sack if they want. There's history of it. So is he walking into the same kind of furnace here?
Not quite. I don't think Chelsea have the same kind of superstars as Real Madrid. There are some huge egos there. And I would imagine, being the intelligent guy that he is, he learned a lot from that spell at Real Madrid and dealing with some of those situations. Because obviously, same as when you're a player, I'm sure in coaching, you learn as you go. And he'll have picked up some valuable lessons. And I expect Chelsea players to, well, the ones who are going to be at the start of the season, there might be some going, but the ones who stay, I expect them to be on board, because ultimately, if you're not, the only person that it affects is yourself, really. And a lot of these players are young. They're trying to build careers. They're trying to further their careers, win trophies, get known to the world. Some of them, obviously some of them more famous than others, but the Real Madrid dressing room is very different. A lot of established stars who think that their worth is greater than the collective and the managers. So I don't envisage the same problems now. I don't think so.
That's interesting. Let's focus on Fulham. Earlier today, TalkSport's Will Gavin spoke to Fulham's Director of Football, Tony Khan, and asked him about their new manager and whether they're still active in the transfer market.
I think that Álvaro is a very, very talented football coach. I think he has a great mind for football, and he was a tremendous player. He's got incredible experiences. He has experience in the Premier League and at an international level. And with our players, I think they've come to really respect Álvaro. He's very organized, very intelligent, and he's very aggressive. And he's a very clear communicator. I really enjoy talking with Álvaro, and through our interviews and the process of trying to identify somebody to come in and take over as the head coach when Marco left, I think Álvaro stepped up, and my father and I really enjoyed our conversations with him. And also Álvaro had clear plans and ideas and very logical suggestions and thoughts for things we can do. I think we all believe Marco did a great job here for 5 years. And as Álvaro said, it's a great opportunity for all of us now to build on that. I am definitely working to do more Fulham business in this transfer window, and it's something that we'll be talking about and have talked a lot about, and we'll continue to talk about, and probably even later tonight when we get out of this match.
Interesting. Tony Khan, Fulham Director of Football, also the owner and CEO of All Elite Rugby. All in show at Wembley Stadium. Tickets still available at AEWTix, TIX, AEWTix.com or Ticketmaster. There's an interesting point he raised there. Marco Silva doing a great job. And we're about to see this season, Danny, whether Marco Silva was the main man in keeping Fulham where they were. Remember December last year, they were, 4 points above the relegation zone. And then all of a sudden he has them challenging for Europe. Didn't come off in the end. But we're going to see if he was overachieving as Fulham manager. We're about to find out, probably, just how good Marco Silva was.
I think we will see that. I think he did overachieve on a limited budget for many seasons. The good thing was the success they had was quite enjoyable to watch. The majority of people I know who go to all the Fulham games enjoyed watching that team. Yes, they have a bad day like anyone, but generally tried to play the right way. We saw that ourselves when we came here last season. Huge shoes to fill. The problem you've got, every other team in the Premier League is trying to be competitive, is spending, is trying to improve their teams. Now, yes, we brought in the two young lads from Spain, from Madrid, and the lad from Southampton, but if they don't do any more business in the window, you could argue that they're not as in a good a place as they were at the start of last season.
Problem's been the recruitment hasn't been as sparkling as maybe everybody thought it was going to be when they did some of those deals, and the examples of that are the two big signings over the last couple of years were Emile Smith-Rowe and Kevin, neither of which really has lived up to the expectation with which they walked into the door. So the history of recruitment here hasn't been great in the last few seasons. I agree that Marco Silva did a brilliant job, an absolutely superb job with his team, and I think it's a very, very tall order for Álvaro Arbeloa to even think about improving that. I mean, keeping them in the division has got to be the first thing. Not saying they're going to get relegated, just saying that that's what they've got to make sure that they maintain. Because if they fall out of the Premier League again, you know how competitive it is. It's very, very difficult to get back up. And you've seen this before. Change the manager, things stop going the way that they have been going, and all of a sudden the team drops from mid-table straight down to the Championship. It can happen.
Those two big signings, Kevin and Emile Smith-Rowe, are on the bench. So it's another big signing from this summer. Shay Charles from Southampton also on the bench as well. You're listening to Kick-Off live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Time together with Now. You can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly in minutes like Fulham Chelsea live tonight. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Kick-Off live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue, unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there! His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result! Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in! Find out more at villagehotels.com.
Crocs Clips just dropped in Happy Meal. Express yourself however you feel. Sports mode, stylish or superstar too. Whatever your vibe, we've got the mode for you. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until the 21st of September from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. Crocs range comprised of toys only while stocks last. Fair ordering policy applies.
So it's after review. Tattooed here on your back.
Yeah, they don't call us VA Arsenal for nothing.
Yeah. Looks a clear and obvious error if you ask me, but okay, amazing.
Football can make you do some questionable things. Thankfully, claiming a free bet builder every weekend at the start of the Premier League season isn't one of them. 5 weeks, 5 free bets. Why the football not? Paddy Power. Pretty-much online bet builders only. Win 3 legs plus. Max free bet varies from 50p to £50 per customer. T's and C's apply. 18 plus gambleware.org.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Mo Farah is learning the ropes.
So, Mo, with Click and Collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Dip lunches. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, Mo. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat my PB one day.
Back in the Mo.
Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Screwfix. No stopping you.
Football is back and it's game on. Get the ultimate football coverage with the Sun's free pull-out goals. With expert opinion and tactical analysis, you get it all with goals. And with unrivaled news from the Premier League, EFL and Cup competitions, it has to be goals. Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every match week on Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Wednesday, only in the Sun.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rooms, inspiration and expertise, where you can laze in luxury accommodation. And kids can feast from 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You've just imagined a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Kick off live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Fulham versus Chelsea live today. 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
TalkSport Sports Headlines with Bostik. For professional grade sealants with easy application and a perfect finish, pros trust Bostik.
With your sports headlines, I'm Charlie Pritchard. Good evening. England cricketer Bryden Cast won't play in the second test against Pakistan, while video of him being handcuffed outside a nightclub's investigated. Legendary English bowler Steve Harmison told TalkSport he wants this to be a watershed moment for the game. Sonny Baker replaces Cast in the squad for the second test. Now in some transfer news, Manchester City have found their Savinho replacement. They've agreed a £34 million deal to sign Alan Elias from Palmeiras. Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest are closing in on a move for Chelsea's Liam Delap. Delap's keen on the switch after being told he does not have a future at Stamford Bridge. Al Hilal are close to an agreement with Arsenal for Gabriel Martinelli. The Saudi Arabian side have been in talks with the Gunners, submitting an offer of £47 million plus £4 million in add-ons. And Liverpool's next bid for Brighton winger Yankuba Minter is expected to be their final approach. They've had bids of 50 and 60 million rejected as Brighton hold firm on their £70 million valuation.
More fun than paying your gas bill. Kick off live on Talk Sport.
Right, we're going to talk about that Liam Delap news you just heard in a few moments' time, but let's recap the team news. Here's Sam Matface.
And let's start with Fulham, who are unchanged from their last friendly against Stuttgart. They give debuts to Garcia and Palacios. It's Bernd Leno in goal. Tim Castagna at right back, who's been bombing on down the right-hand side and helping himself to a goal or two in pre-season. Anthony Robinson similarly on the other side on the left. Cuenca and Bassi are the two defenders in the middle of the park, with the experienced Joachim Andersen still suspended. Berger and Iwobi in the middle, with Bob, Josh King and Palacios behind Garcia in attack. For Chelsea, no Moises Caicedo or Palestra. Chelsea got 3 games this week, so they're managing the squad a little bit, I think, as well. But neither of those two ready to start today. Enzo Fernandez is on the bench, as is Danny Welbeck. It's Sanchez in goal, Achampong, Lacroix and Colwell the back 3. Gusto, Lavia, James and Harto are the 4 across the middle, with Palmer and Rogers behind João Pedro in what looks like a mouth-watering attack.
It does. I just want to check, Danny, are you okay? Are you actually all right?
Yeah, why?
Well, because Oscar Bob's playing, your cat was called Bob, so I'm just wondering if you're going to be okay for the evening.
I'll get through it.
Okay.
I'll get through it. Got a box of tissues in.
Just checking on your well-being, mate. Okay.
How much cat chat can we have tonight?
I'm leaving that to you now. It's all over to you. Let's talk about Liam Delap. The Fulham programme has got the squad numbers wrong on the back of it, because it says Liam Delap is number 9. He is not. João Pedro is the Chelsea number 9. Liam Delap's got 12, but I don't think he's going to have it for long. It looks like he's off to Nottingham Forest. He's keen to make the switch. Forest are, according to our chief football correspondent Alex Crook, closing in on a move for Liam Delap. This is best all round, Danny Murphy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think when you're at that age and you've got so much to prove, you need to be playing. And he'll feel that he's going to get that at Forest, I'm sure. He's a talented boy, but you know, I've seen him when he first came up for Ipswich, and he had some games where you can see the potential and the physicality and how he roughs people up. But he needs to play, and he needs to get his confidence up, get his rhythm going. That seems to be a sensible move.
It's the number 9 shirt. You talked about it on Drive. Number 9 shirt for Chelsea.
Yes.
I mean, is it going to affect João Pedro as well?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
He's
It
too good
affects
for it.
everybody. It's an absolute nightmare. I mean, Kerry Dixon had it between 1983 and
He's
80,
all right.
84 and 91, 92. He was the last one that really sort of stood out. The only one that's turned up and actually managed to handle it is Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Everybody else, Chris Sutton, Mark Steen, Tony Cascarino, our own Tony Cascarino, Fernando Torres, Radamel Falcao, Alvaro Morata, Gonzalo Higuain, Romelu Lukaku when they bought him back for £100 million after selling him for about 15. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang wore the number 9 at Chelsea. And I'm not even mentioned Khalid Boularus. And Steve Sidwell wore the number 9. He wasn't even a forward. Obviously, Kunot was Boularus. He was a central defender, which is crazy. The number 9 is a nightmare. Boy, do they need João Pedro to break that curse. I hope he does, because he's a brilliant player, and he's got 2 behind him that are fantastic, or should be fantastic, at supplying him. He's been in top form in pre-season.
More on Chelsea in a bit, but let's have a look at the magic moments of the weekend. The return of the magic moments of the weekend. I love this, because we talk about how brilliant football is. I want Sam Matterface to go first, because you were there for this one, weren't you?
I was. Anthony Elanga after 4 minutes. The goal was great because of the speed of the countering attack. It was absolutely devastating, the way in which they went from the edge of their own penalty area to scoring the goal. But most importantly, it came after the most moving, spine-tingling tribute to Kevin Keegan and the pantomime booing and hissing of Alexander Isak, which together sort of produced a heady cocktail of emotion just before kick-off. And then 4 minutes, 14 seconds in, you have that goal. New manager, difficult summer, period of change, explosion of joy and all the frustrations at St James's Park came out in that moment. It was just great to be there.
So easy to avoid, though, the goal, wasn't it?
Well, Kirkes must have had a caravan all day over the summer because he was still towing it.
But why didn't he just block him? Why not just block him?
Yeah.
No, just stand across his path. Or, foul him if need be. What, you know he's going to beat you for the pace, so why not? Well, he should have had a better starting position. But you're watching the thing and he's going to run past you, maybe stand in his way. No, you just go by me.
Okay, you could say that about any goal. Now I'm going to say about your magic moment. So you could deliver yours.
Okay. Yes, boss. Jack Clark, Ipswich, last minute, scoring against... First day of the season to get the winner is amazing. Especially newly promoted side. But to do it against your old team, I never had that pleasure. I can only imagine how it must feel in the last minute to get the winner against one of your old teams. It must have been a special moment for him. Yeah, and of course, after Ipswich's failings in the last Premier League campaign, it was an important win for them, wasn't it?
Well, they won. Ipswich won only one home game a couple of years ago against Chelsea, and they've already won one this season. But Sunderland shouldn't have given the ball away. This is what Danny Murphy is.
There's a difference in giving the ball away is part of football. Letting someone run by you when you can see them coming is something completely different.
Was that your emotional moment at Ipswich?
No, my emotional moment, it was a great goal by then. It was a really good moment and he really enjoyed it. My emotional moment at Ipswich was Enciso was fantastic. He was by far the man of the match, but he had to go off on 70. He had cramp in both legs.
He's ex-Chelsea, isn't he?
And I was actually quite sad when he went off. I actually felt a sadness within me because I was really enjoying watching him.
It was really good.
He was so good.
He was excellent to watch. And actually, one of the things I've sort of been banging on about on the Premier League All Access podcast this week and on yesterday's show is, there's never an excuse, I don't think, not to be ready for the start of the Premier League season. Ipswich were ready for the start of the season. Brentford were ready for the start of the season. Hull City ready for the start of the season.
Spurs were... Oh, no.
Well, what if loads of your players have been at the World Cup?
What, so that's okay then? So you just don't bother for the first week of the season?
No, you don't bother. But what I'm saying is, if you're a top club and a lot of your players have been away, you have to give them legally a certain amount of time off.
Yeah.
So they don't have the same pre-season.
Well, Arsenal managed to get through Friday night quite well and played at a decent intent.
How about Spurs manager Roberto De Zerbi naming the players who weren't ready, who weren't properly fit? That was unbelievable. Can
you believe he didn't make any changes at half time?
No. The whole thing was crazy.
I could not understand that.
It was absolute mad, that game. Honestly, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
I'm going to give an honourable mention to Jack Hinchelwood, who's got a couple of goals.
Yeah.
And here's something which has blown my mind from last season. I went back and double-checked this. The Premier League Young Player of the Year, the PFA Young Player of the Year, he wasn't on either shortlist.
Wow.
I mean, absolutely stunning that he wasn't on either. Max Dowman was on one of them. He was on the PFA, and Jack Hinchelwood wasn't.
Troy Deeney's Hero of the Week was Jack Hinchelwood this week on Premier League All Access.
He's got to be in with a shout of the next England squad.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's an amazing example, and I've talked about this before. You know, the aesthetic of a player and how he moves and how he goes about the pitch it's a perception that fans have. He is a great example of someone who gets the job done so efficiently, but he doesn't necessarily look graceful doing it. And I think that's a big thing in football when players, like when you look at, I don't know, for example, people you say Berbatov doesn't move about. He's silky and he stands kind of up the top and he does his little bits, but his running stats were up there with some of the other players, And we signed a lad, you remember Andy Johnson from Palace went Everton, then he came to Fulham. Within 10 minutes of him starting the first game, the fans here loved him because he's bombing around, closing down fullbacks, then he's nicking the ball off centre-halves, closing the keeper down. It's just the perception of some players is different for different fans, and I think he goes under the radar because he's not flash and he's not flicks and tricks but he gets the job done, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Has he been linked with a move to Arsenal this week, hasn't he?
There was talk of that. I can't see that happening, but I mean, he's a number 10 at the moment, played 10 at the weekends, and England have a lot of number 10s, but are they all performing to the level he is? We'll wait and see. Actually, my magic moment is Hayden Hackney's quick free kick for Everton, which led to the second goal. The Ndiaye cross is brilliant. Header's great from Barry. It was important Everton won their first home game of the season. Their home record last season, they lost more than they won last season. They need to get it right at Hill Dickinson. And I just thought a player that's just come up from the Championship, and maybe there's some expectation. He was playing in midfield and a lot of expectation in that position. I just thought he showed some real smart thinking from Hayden Hackney. I'm looking forward to his season.
He's a brave player though, isn't he? We saw that. He tries things. he wants to make things happen and impact games, and he's not going to lose that. That's why Moisey brought him in. They needed a bit more of that, Everton. So it's a great start for him. And it was a good home game to have, wasn't it, Palace, after the players they've lost?
Well, Palace had some chances in it, but they could be in for a difficult season. Ismail Assar on his way to Galatasaray, as we understand it, and also JP Mateta seemingly wants out, but they've been beaten at Everton in the first game of the season. Tough start for Pierre Sarge, the new manager. That's the magic moment. You're listening to Kick-Off Live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever it is, they're here for it.
Kick-Off Live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Fulham versus Chelsea live today. 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
You know football, and The Sun knows football. So we know that you want the latest football news and analysis round the clock, whether it's the Premier League, EFL or cup competitions. Plus, must-watch shows like Tactics Exposed from our expert journalists. We don't know if Coventry can cut it back in the big time or whether Arsenal can retain their title, but we do know where you'll find out. Download the Sun app for fans who know football.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Mo Farah is learning the ropes.
So, Mo, with Click and Collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Deep lunges. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, Mo. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat my PB one day.
Back in a mo.
Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Screwfix, no stopping you.
They are still checking it.
5 minutes for a decision? Game's gone.
Has it, Roy? Fans have been saying that since forever. The game's never gone, Roy.
The goal's been given.
Get it!
Opt in and get a completely free bet to use on Accas with 5 legs or more this weekend with Sky Bet.
Game's back.
Football Accas only. Free bet expiry subject to respective offer details. Free bet stakes not returned or withdrawable. Eligibility restrictions and further T&Cs apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there. His favourite ice cold beer. What a result. Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
The Big Arch just got bacon. More smokiness, more crispiness, more deliciousness. With juicy beef, cheddar cheese and that Big Arch sauce. Now topped with crispy bacon. The Big Arch just got bacon.
Until the 28th of September 2026, served from 11 a.m, subject to availability.
In 10 metres, take a left at the pile of washing.
Sorry, what?
At the Valley of Toy Dinosaurs, approach the kitchen with no room to cook. Turn right at the floordrome. You've reached chaos. Recalculating. Suggest immediate course correction to IKEA for fitted wardrobes, children's storage and cupboard organisers.
Find your way back to calm. Discover smart storage at your local IKEA now. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Kick off live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it. King of football commentary. Kick off live on TalkSport.
And interesting to see just before kick-off the cameras panning up to the director's box and Liam Rosenior sitting right next to Begdad Eghbali. It's been launched up for Wilson. Wilson tussling with Cucurella. He's got the better of him. He's fought him down. Sent off Mark Cucurella. The ball into the box. Jimenez with a header. Oh, it's brilliant.
An uphill battle now for this 10-man Chelsea.
And Liam Delap has a Premier League goal for Chelsea. He wheels away in celebration because 10-man Chelsea are back level with their West London rivals.
Chelsea have deserved it. They've been excellent since that goal.
Wilson controls it, right foot is poked into the corner, and Fulham lead again. And Harry Wilson now does have his goal, and he's put Fulham in front against Chelsea by 2-1.
Well, that was last season. That was in January. Fulham 2, Chelsea 1, mid-table battle. But what was funny about that game is that Raul Jimenez scored, Harry Wilson scored, both gone. Mark Cucurella sent off, he's gone. The new Chelsea manager, Liam Rosenior, was watching in the stands. He's gone as well. Chelsea's just a basket case of a club, Danny Murphy, isn't it?
It is, but it's exciting, isn't it? Keeps us on our toes. I like seeing the merry-go-round of players and managers. Gives us something to talk about. On a more serious note, that front line we talked about before is dangerous, isn't it? That looks as good as they've had as a front three in a long time.
Well, I was just going to say that. I mean, when I realised that that's going to be your best starting front three, Rodgers, Palmer, João Pedro, I mean, if you can't get excited about that, even as somebody who might even be a Spurs fan or whatever, even if you're a fan of those three together, they should produce magic, shouldn't they?
And what about the fact that you've got Esteval to come off the bench and
point.
Giovanni Quenda as well? Two very exciting players who I think will be willing to play at wing-back.
OK, so this is the key here. We're talking wing-backs. There's a lot of defensive-minded players in that Chelsea lineup. If you look at it as a right-back, Gusto, as a left-back, Hato, right? Acheampong, Lacroix, Colwell, all centre-halves. Keeper as well, obviously. James and Lavia, defensive-minded players. So you're left with three attacking players, João Pedro, Rodgers and Palmer. But Xabi Alonso loves dynamic full-backs, wing-backs. Gusto and Hato have to get forward, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, Gusto's capable. We've seen that before. Whether he tries to play some of those younger lads who are more wingers, if you like, in that position, I wouldn't think he would in the bigger games when they're going to be on the back foot at times. But he might adapt. You know, it's a completely different league for him. I mean, he had the success with Leverkusen, so he likes this system. But I think he'll be adaptable. I don't see the young lads, the wingers, playing as wing backs too often. It's a tough position. And the other thing is, if you look back at, say, Jurgen Klopp's best Liverpool side, they basically relied on a front three. I know they didn't play three at the back, but they got a bit of width from the Robertson and Trent, of course. But the front three was what won them the game. And that's not a bad thing, you know, because if you're defensively solid, and let's not forget, Chelsea defensively last year were poor. So maybe he's looking at it and thinking, maybe I'll leave those three with one of the wing backs to win us the game, and let's start keeping some clean sheets, because he can't carry on like last season.
Well, they've got the same goalkeeper, which I think if you're a Chelsea fan, you're looking at that and raising a question. I think he mixed it up a lot during pre-season, 4-3, it depended. And if you go back to his time at Real Madrid, he played a 4 the whole way through. So I don't think he's wedded to a 3 at the back, but I think he loves to see those wing-backs get forward and get through a lot of work. I mean, Grimaldo was fantastic in that Leverkusen team. And I think Chavarria and Palestra have been bought with that in mind.
I'm surprised Chavarria isn't starting, but you know, he may not be physically quite right, who knows, but he's a signing actually. There's a Xabi Alonso signing. What, £19 million was it?
Yeah,
and he's 28.
And he's an experienced ready-made player. Yes, 28. That's key, isn't it? You know, the fact is you've got ready experience to come into the lineup now, whereas last season, look, I mean, I think we'll probably talk about it a little bit later when Danny Welbeck eventually comes on. 77 matches, Chelsea, without a 30-year-old being anywhere near the team. 77 league matches. It's 124 since they named one in the starting lineup. It's absolutely astounding that they've not had experienced players, ready-made Premier League players. The last over 30-year-old to play for Chelsea was Thiago Silva in May 2024. That's over 2 years ago. So they needed that experience. They needed some ready-made players, and he is one of those. So is Lacroix. So is Morgan Rodgers, obviously, and then the two boys that will be in and around it, Welbeck and Henderson.
Jordan Henderson, who is here and was actually doing what he did with England. He had a good laugh with Morgan Rodgers when they first came out to have a look at the pitch. Álvaro Arbeloa is just stepping out onto the Craven Cottage pitch. He's looking the part, the white shoes, casual black suit, waving to the crowd, applauding the crowds. The former Liverpool and Real Madrid man, the man who managed Real Madrid in the second half of last season. Serious game face on as he marches across the turf towards the dugouts on the opposite side from where we are. He'll be sitting at the bottom of the new stand. We're in the old stand here at Craven Cottage. He'll have the Thames behind him, and he'll have the fans behind him for now, but it's going to be intriguing to see how Álvaro Arbeloa gets on. Not many have the confidence that he has the ability to do the job. Real Madrid is a different beast, obviously, to Fulham, but he's got to get it right at Fulham. They can't be going down. Marco Silva will look like an absolute magician if Fulham do go down. Have you got them for relegation? Are they going to be in trouble, Danny Murphy?
No, I think they'll be okay. They've got plenty of experience, and I do think they'll do a bit more business. So no, but I don't think it will be all plain sailing. There's going to be some tricky moments this season.
Indeed, the players are in the tunnel. Enzo Fernandez just walking across the pitch and got roundly booed. Well, pretty much everybody in the stadium. Nobody likes Enzo Fernandez. I can't think why.
Oh, I do understand the dislike, but what a player. He's a really, really good footballer who's definitely got better and better since he's come to Chelsea. He can do both aspects of the game in midfield, is what I like about him. And if he does go somewhere else, someone's going to inherit a really good player.
Here come the two teams. Reece James, the captain, leading Chelsea out. Calvin Bassey, the Fulham captain, leading his teammates out. The opening weekend of the Premier League season has seen wins for Arsenal, Hull, Ipswich, Leeds, Everton, Brentford, Brighton and Man City, while Newcastle and Liverpool shared 4 goals. Some big names fell to defeat Villa, Man United and Spurs. Where will the story be tonight? New managers, new players, same London derby. Fulham against Chelsea, live on TalkSport with former England midfielder Danny Murphy alongside your commentator Sam Matface.
Thank you, Adrian.
We're sorry, this commentary is not available in your country. Please visit
as Craven Cottage witnessed the team secure a first league title in 50 years. We would like you now to join us in a period of applause that will start and end on the referee's whistle.
Xabi Alonso and Álvaro Arbeloa are very close. They've shared everything, but they don't want to share these first 3 points of the season. Chelsea shooting from left to right in the first half, Fulham from right to left towards the Putney end. John Brooks is our referee. He gets us off and underway. Cole Palmer is the first Chelsea player to touch the ball under Xabi Alonso, and he immediately gets it back to Robert Sanchez away to our left-hand side. He hoiks the ball straight out of play over in front of the Riverside stand. And well, one Chelsea columnist this morning, Danny, suggested that after 4 seasons under Blueco ownership, £879 million net spent during that time, just one Champions League campaign, a Conference League and a Club World Cup, that maybe they should be doing better, and they might be starting well here, because João Pedro's been has burnt Leno. A mistake by the Fulham defence, giving the ball away, quickly turned over. Chelsea push it forward through Palmer, and João Pedro, who scored 7 goals in pre-season, is off the mark in the first minute of the Premier League campaign. It's Fulham 0, Chelsea 1.
Well, he was never missing, was he? It's a poor clearance initially.
Cesar Palacios as the ball comes towards him.
Yeah, a little bit.
He just doesn't quite get there, does he?
No, but the back four should be narrower. The space was too big. But it's a super little pass from Cole Palmer. He made that look easy.
Well, it's a fast start from Chelsea. We saw a goal scored very early in the Community Shield. That's certainly the fastest goal of the season so far in the Premier League. Just about 32 seconds, I think, on my watch when that goal was scored. This is Talk Sport, and we're live at Craven Cottage, and Chelsea are already 1-0 up. And what a start for Xabi Alonso. I don't think he could have envisaged a start going any better than that. Didn't he take the finish well as well, João Pedro? Because as Bernd Leno came out, he just lifted it over the top of him brilliantly.
Yeah, he's a calm finisher. We've seen that finish from him before. The pass made it easier for him now. It was a brilliant first-time ball from Palmer. It's just effortless to him, those type of things. He sees the pictures really quick. A lot of players would have taken a touch there.
He really does. And the one thing about Cole Palmer this season is you can guarantee that he's going to be better than last season, when he was dogged by injury and didn't impact Chelsea as much as he had done previously. And playing out from the back once again, a little short pass to George Cuenca, who was under pressure from Cole Palmer immediately, and that forced him into a clearance which Chelsea then pushed forward into midfield. Reece James playing in that position, gets it up to João Pedro. Lovely little flick onto Rodgers from Cole Palmer. His effort is blocked, and he scoops away and goes out for a corner kick over on the far side. And I have to say, Chelsea have started with a real intensity in their play, and Cole Palmer looks like he really fancies it. Crafty little flicks to open up the Fulham back line, and that combination with Morgan Rodgers, another pairing that are very close, those two, certainly seems to be coming to life.
Yeah, it's been a good start, hasn't it? Got to gather themselves, Fulham. Dig in here.
Rodgers from the short corner from Palmer towards the edge of the area, and James hits it first time. It's blocked by the defender, Sander Berg, who was helping out his defence. It comes out towards the near touchline, and Castagna nudges it out for a throw-in down by the corner flag away to our right-hand side. bright blue sky above our heads, and in the corner of the Riverside stand and the Hammersmith end, the one-tiered stand away to our right, where all the loud Fulham fans are. The sun is setting, the floodlights are on, and it's a beautiful place at the best of times. And that's a late challenge by Levi Colwell, who's got caught dawdling on the ball. Oscar Bob looked as if he was going to rob him of possession, and then Colwell with a late challenge brought him down. John Brooks gives a yellow card. The Fulham fans, I think, wanted a red one.
He's very, very lucky, because if Oscar Bob takes that ball, I understand why he's given the yellow. He is running outside the width of the box, if you like, but if he's 3 yards more central, I think he's off.
I think there was a situation where there were two players in the centre, weren't there? One Chelsea player and another attacker as well. But you're right, you know, some of the times last season we saw players in those situations certainly be looked at by VAR. Nothing doing in that regard as the free kick is sent in towards the edge of the box.
Well, it was a bit lax from Colwell, and he's not the quickest centre half in the league.
It's a heavy touch, wasn't it? And he just got himself in all sorts of problems. And Oscar Bob very quick to snaffle it. And you will see that from Fulham. They are very front-footed when they're without the ball. They high press under Álvaro Arbeloa. That's something that the manager certainly wants. And they go man for man all over the pitch when they haven't got the ball. Ball over on the far side with João Pedro. Takes it out of play and it goes away for a throw to Chelsea. Level with the edge of the penalty area. Fast start here at Craven Cottage. Chelsea leading by a goal to nil on Talk Sport. Ball thrown in by Harto. And Rodgers was the aim recipient. And then Colwell miskicks it inside the area. Gets it back. And Chelsea look to build from the left-hand side. Harto again comes in field. Lays it off. Chelsea keep possession into James in midfield. And then all the way back to Lacroix away to our left-hand side. 7 minutes on the clock. Chelsea have the ball and have the lead. Here's Palmer running down the right, being chased by Iwobi and Palacios. Quickly on to Gusto. Gusto to a Champon. A Champon rolls his studs over the ball, gives it to Gusto. Infield to Palmer. The game being played at high tempo in the early exchanges here in West London. Colwell. Palmer. Dead centre of the Fulham half. Back to James. Then out to Gusto once again. Gusto back to James once more, and then all the way to Lacroix, the man they acquired from Crystal Palace earlier in the campaign. Big switch from James out to the far touchline, taken out of the sky by Jarell Harto, and guided back to the left side of the centre circle. And it's taken on by Colwell, then given to James, and Chelsea just trying to knit possession together. But Fulham actually got back behind the ball quite well. They do like a high line now under Álvaro Arbeloa as well, which might leave a bit of space for the likes of João Pedro to run into. Should Rodgers or Palmer be able to unlock the door, and Palmer has sent Rodgers away down the left-hand side, but he can't get on the end of that one. He runs out of play this time, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our right. Fulham 0, Chelsea 1.
It's good patient build-up. Working it side to side, waiting for that opening. Nearly got Rodgers in. Palmer drifting over. Very free, although he's on that right-hand side. You'll see them wander across the pitch, Rodgers and Palmer, and just cause trouble wherever they go. I don't think they'll be rigid in their positions at all.
James nudges it through to João Pedro, links with Rodgers, on to Palmer as Chelsea look to attack again. They move at pace to the edge of the area. Palmer takes it into the box, right-footed shot, parried down by Leno. Rodgers was there to try and put him under pressure. Leno managed to get it to the edge of his box and clear it away. 8 minutes gone. Chelsea look like they've got the bit between their teeth tonight.
Yeah, just tactically the Fulham players struggling to come to terms with the way Chelsea have set up.
And it's one of those that wasn't a secret. I mean,
no,
I think we expected it, didn't we?
Yeah, but it's the quality as well, and the speed of pass, rotation of position, so many factors when you're trying to work out how a team's going to play early in a game.
And how do you get to grips with the fact that trying to do what you want to do and adapting to what's in front of you in terms of the way that Chelsea have started the match?
Well, when you're a goal down, you have to first and foremost get yourself compact. Forget marking players. Sometimes you just got to mark space and be close together and get your confidence again, get yourself back in the game.
And is that where they're going to miss some of the experience that's gone out of the room?
A little bit. But it'll settle down, they'll work it out.
Here is Berger into Oscar Bob, one of those younger players that Fulham have brought in over the last couple of years. Infield it goes to Gonzalo Garcia, another one of those. Then into Sonderberger, who's the metronome in the middle of the park, up to Iwobi, stretched for it. Robinson had to keep it in on this near touchline, the man who played for the United States of America at the World Cup. Guides it back to Berger, and then it's out to the far side, and Calvin Bassey. Bassey into Josh King, who you might remember scored what we thought was his first Premier League goal at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea last season, only for it to be ruled out by VAR. That's a mistake by Harto, giving the ball to Lacroix. It's snapped by Fulham, King into the area, towards the near post. Gonzalo Garcia trying to get on the end of it. It can't, and it's cleared away by Chelsea to the far side. Bit scrappy from Harto over on that left full-back area as King sends another ball into the near post. Takes a deflection off Harto, goes out. The first corner of the game for Fulham, and that corner will be taken by Oscar Bob over on the far side, but Harto got himself in a bit of a pickle there, Danny Murphy.
Yeah, it was a good ball, spun in behind, wasn't it, to get the attack going. Thought Josh King maybe could have had a shot when he tried to cross earlier in the move. Hard to tell from this angle.
Bob sends the ball in towards the middle of the 6-yard box. Sanchez comes and claims quite easily, and the ball's distributed out towards this near side. A bit short again, and Palmer didn't get on the end of it, and Palacios tries to keep it in, can't quite do so, but he nabbed it off Cole Palmer, ran into the left wing position, and again that's another example of the blueprint of the Álvaro Arbeloa system. They want to win the ball high up in the opponent's half. Lacroix under pressure from King, allows it to run through to Sanchez, and then picked up by Colwell out to the far side. Quick and fast from Fulham when they haven't got the ball, putting pressure on Chelsea. Chelsea get it long up to João Pedro to try and relieve a little bit of the tension. Anthony Robinson heads it forward, and then it's picked up by Palmer, immediately lifts it over the top, and there's that space for João Pedro to run into. He's down the left side of the box, he's got control of the ball, but he's got Bassey for company, and Bassey used his strength really well to edge João Pedro off the ball, and then there's a big strong tackle by Romeo Lavia on Bassey as he brings the ball out of the fence, having robbed João Pedro, and it's a yellow card from John Brooks to Romeo Lavia for his ill-timed challenge.
It's another great ball from Palmer. So early with the pass, Pedro just goes, he knows, João Pedro knows it's coming. Great recovery from Calvin. Bassey. Oh, I tell you what, it's a naughty tackle from Lavia on Bassey. Oh, he actually gets a touch of the ball. Looks worse.
Romeo Lavia did get a touch on the ball before that challenge was eventually taking down Calvin Bassey. To take down Calvin Bassey, you have to go some. He is a strapping lad.
It's a big lump, isn't he?
He is, and do you know what? He doesn't stop talking. He never stops talking, ever. On the pitch, whether he's sitting waiting to do an interview, he's always talking. He's got infectious enthusiasm, that fella.
Yeah.
I'll just ignore your barbs. I haven't even started the cat yet, so let's just move on.
I'll tell you what was good to see, that Chelsea move where they nearly got in again there, all started from a really good Fulham press. And Colwell saw the fact that they were pressing well and decided, you know what, it's going long, we're one day, it's going to go. Didn't pick anyone out, ended up falling to Palmer, they're in.
And that's that tactical adaptability that they're going to have to show as well. You know, when you've got a team that's coming up against you and they're pressurising you man for man all over the pitch.
Well, it's common sense. It's common sense.
Don't be wedded to the one style of play. Here is Lacroix across to a Champon.
Is that your new word for the season? Wedded?
Wedded. It's not. Sanchez, what is he doing? He's allowed the ball to run across his body. Opportunity that. To train with the senior England squad before the World Cup. Here's Iwobi as the ball's played into him by the goalkeeper, and then the ball back by Berger to Bernd Leno is again one that invites pressure from João Pedro. It's launched high into the evening sky, and Lacroix will head that away for Chelsea, who lead by 1-0. James gets caught, Harto dives in, Chelsea win it back again inside their own territory. All buzz and energy from Fulham without the ball as Gusto gets up to halfway, finds Cole Palmer, who looks to try and get around Anthony Robinson and does so with a little trick to get to the touchline on this near side. Goes all the way back to James, and Chelsea look to build once again.
He is a super young talent, Josh King. He's just got to add some bit more end products to his game. I always feel that, I saw a lot of Fulham last year.
Yeah.
I always feel Emile Smith-Rowe is more of a goal threat. I'm always surprised when he's not starting, because generally I've seen him, he's done all right.
Here is Harto bursting in from the left-hand side. He's taken on 3 players. He's got to the edge of the area. He couldn't find the pass to Malo Gusto on this near side. It was in acres of space, but Palmer's won it back after it was initially cleared. And then he's run into traffic, and Robinson's robbed him, and now he's speeding away for Fulham. 1-0 Chelsea here at Craven Cottage. That was an opportunity. If Jarell Harto, who took 3 players out of the game with his darting run from left into the centre of the Fulham half, had fed Malagusta, there was massive trouble. There might be big trouble here, because James has pitched it after another short pass. He's run up to the edge of the area. João Pedro's got it 5 yards short of the D. Back into the centre, and James, now Lavia. James again, the attack slows as Fulham get men behind the ball and stop Chelsea from going any further.
Yeah, it wasn't the best ball from Sander Berger, but Palacios looks like he's struggling a little bit just with the physicality of it, which can happen, of course, when you're not used to it.
Gusto down the right for Cole Palmer. Decides not to cross, but then gets it back onto his left foot and then tries to come infield. Does a little Cruyff turn and goes back down the right of the penalty area. Travels out to Gusto. Gusto then comes infield. A little flick back to James. James across to Lacroix. Lacroix looks up and decides to try a trick of his own, and then has the ball taken off of him by Oscar Bob. And then Bassi and João Pedro in a battle, but Berger emerges with the ball, and Fulham try to come forward. They don't, they go backwards through Berger. Palmer wins it, and then nips in, does Morgan Rogers, gets it to Palmer inside the area. Robinson comes across, stoops low, tries to head it away. Palmer gets it back from Rogers, he's inside the box, he can't pull the trigger, eventually he shoots, it's blocked, and then it's helped away by Josh King on the edge of the D. Still Chelsea come. once again, relentlessly blue and moving at speed. It's Gusto to the far post. Hato keeps it alive. João Pedro with his back to goal. Edge of the area is Colwell. Into Palmer, who's seen a lot of the ball. He takes it left. He turns. He tries to shoot, but he falls over before he can do that. And the ball's cleared by Fulham. They go on a counter-attack. He's taken down by Gonzalo Garcia. And then Maxence Lacroix just holds his ground, stabs it away, holds him up and draws him out towards this near touchline.
Did well, Lacroix. I thought Garcia could have tested him a little bit more there with a better touch.
Josh King, edge of the area, tries to shoot right-footed, parried away by Sanchez at his near post and flapped out for a corner over on the far side. An engaging football match, which has certainly burst into life from the minute the referee's whistle is blown, and Fulham are certainly playing their part.
Love to see that from Josh King, taking the shot on from outside the box, struck it well as well, stung the hands of Sanchez, didn't quite deal with it very well.
It's a little bit frenzied and chaotic here at Craven Cottage, but it makes for a brilliant watch.
All that Chelsea pressure was because Sander Berge couldn't see a pass forward and went backwards when there was a counter-attack on. That's one thing, he's a really good footballer, but he doesn't play forward enough.
It's another poor corner in towards Josh King, who tries to take it down this time, and then it's split goalwards by Palacios, but he got right underneath it and lifted it over the top of the crossbar. So we played 21 minutes. You're listening to Fulham 0, Chelsea 1 on TalkSport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly in minutes, like Fulham versus Chelsea live right now, streamed by the internet. Terms apply. This is TalkSport under the lights in West London. It's been a fun match to watch. It's been a brilliant first weekend of the season, really.
It has.
And this game's going to, I think, play its part. Certainly Fulham enjoyed being at home last season. They got the bedrock of all of their points here. 35 of their 52 came at Craven Cottage. They won 6 of 10 here in 2026 alone. Only Manchester United managed more home wins in the calendar year. But good starts have been hard to find. Only one win in their last 6 opening days, Fulham. They're behind here and looking for a way back into the match. Fulham 0, Chelsea 1 on TalkSport. On the Monday Night Football, whenever there's Monday Night Football in the Premier League, we will be here to bring it for you. Here is Josh King down the right-hand side, bounding away from Romeo Lavia, who's been booked. He gets to the edge of the area and he's taking on Colwell. It's a low ball into towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and they were a little bit scared there, Chelsea. Eventually clear it out to Berger, whose shot hits the defender and goes out for a throw-in over on the far side. But there was a little bit of panic inside the 6-yard box there as that ball from King came across.
Great play from Josh King again. Talking about end product, he looks sharp, he looks fit. Got to put a ball in a great area there. Expecting someone to be in there.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a lack of presence from a Fulham jersey, wasn't there, inside that penalty area? That's where Garcia probably should have been. Here's Iwobi into Garcia, trying to release Palacios, but across steps Lacroix again, who reads it, nudges it out towards the near side. Fulham regain possession. 20 yards from the edge of the area. Palacios comes infield, gets it off Berger and then gives it to Bassi. And now they try to come forward with the ball at their feet in the shape of Oscar Bob. He sends it wide, out to Castagna. Castagna back into Bob again. He's midway inside the Chelsea half of the field. Centrally now, Sonderberger takes it on. Nudges it out to Iwobi. 22 and a half minutes gone on TalkSport. Then it's out to Robinson. Iwobi into Berger. And Chelsea just sitting off at the moment. Lavia, the deepest of the midfield players, just keeping a watchful gaze on Josh King, who gets the ball now. Lavia goes across to him, but King strikes it brilliantly into the near post and beats Robert Sanchez and scores the equaliser midway through the first half. It's a brilliant finish from Josh King. Denied a goal at Stamford Bridge last season. He's got one here, all right. It's some hit from the edge of the area, and Fulham are on level terms. It's Fulham 1, Chelsea 1.
Well, he's been absolutely outstanding in the last 10-15 minutes for Fulham. Picking up the ball, going past people, getting his shots off, and he's thought there again, you know what, I'm going to have another go. Yeah, we might see it go through the keeper a little bit, we'll have a look at that in a second. But what a great 10 minutes for the young lad, really made a difference.
Yeah, he picks it up midway inside the Chelsea half, he exchanges passes with Castagna, gets to the right side of the area, and the goalkeeper's had an absolute nightmare. It's a good hit, but he's had a nightmare.
I like the fact he's taken the shots on, but he should never be scoring from that angle. Lavia is lazy, he doesn't track him in, he gives him the option to shoot from a tight angle. I don't know what to say about Sanchez, really. It's come off that zippy surface, hasn't it? But he's got to save it. No question.
I mean, Lavia, I think, is guilty first of all. He was standing there waiting, and then he allowed Josh King far too much room. And then once he's got the room, he thinks, well, why not have a pop? I've seen that Sanchez can be vulnerable, and he was vulnerable again. It was far. I mean, that is the kind of goal that goalkeepers will have nightmares about, isn't it?
But to be fair to Josh King, usually I watched him play a lot last season. He was more unselfish. It feels like now tonight he's thinking, I've got to make an impact. I've got to make a difference. I've got to get my shots off and make something happen. He's got more confidence about him. Great to see.
Well, Josh King scores for Fulham against Chelsea, and it's Fulham 1, Chelsea 1 live on Talk Sport. We've got a game on our hands here, that's for sure.
Well, it's ironic, isn't it? Because wasn't it Josh King who had that wonderful goal disallowed at Stamford Bridge last year?
Yeah, that's what I was saying just now. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening.
All right, don't worry, mate. It's only part of the conversation.
I was flavouring. I was taking in the atmosphere.
The vibe. Yeah, sucking up the atmosphere.
I was.
Yeah. Don't worry, mate. It's okay. Xabi Alonso looking a little bit glum-faced over on the far side. His team started brightly, but do you know what? Chelsea have had a few sort of mishaps here over the past few seasons. It always used to be a one-way traffic, but it's not like that anymore. In fact, we were here, I think it was a Monday night, Adrian, wasn't it, when we were here for the game in January, where Delap had scored that goal, and then Harry Wilson basically ran the show for Fulham. And that's one of a number of Fulham games here against Chelsea, which has started to be a lot more competitive in recent years. We're just seeing the goal again. It's the goal that Robert Sanchez will not want to see again.
Well, we talked, didn't we, about their title credentials before the game, and very rarely you win the league without a brilliant goalkeeper and a brilliant centre-half.
It was interesting to hear Xabi Alonso asked about the goalkeeper. Is Robert Sanchez your number one, he was asked, and he said, I don't decide things like that. The pitch decides.
The pitch?
Your performances on the pitch decide whether you are the number one or the main striker or the main central midfield player. Your performances decide.
Yeah, I make him right, and I understand what he means.
Well, it's a good way of dealing with it. Here's King into the penalty area again for Fulham. The return comes towards Palacios. From the byline from Castagna, it's helped away by Joshua Champong, and it's out to the far touchline where Oscar Bob is patrolling now.
Did well at Champong there, really well.
He had to, because otherwise Chelsea are in trouble, and King himself looks a little bit even more confident now. On the edge of the area, the ball goes up to Oscar Bob, who goes down into the right wing position, pulls it back, chance for Garcia, and a Champong is there again to make a brilliant block, because it was tucked back about 7 yards out to Garcia. He struck it first time, and a Champong had read the danger.
Oscar Bob is sharp. He looks really sharp as well. I'm talking about Josh King, but Oscar Bob on that right side, causing them all sorts of problems. Got really quick feet, hasn't he? It's a great blocks. It's more than half a chance, wasn't it, for Garcia?
That's a brilliant bit of defensive play by Joshua Champong, twice in quick succession. A player, I think, at the beginning of the season that people thought maybe would lead to him going out on loan. I think he feels he wants first team football. A lot of people believe that he needs that at the age of 20, but he did get 30 games last season, 14 starts in the Chelsea first team at the age of 20. I mean, and starting on the opening day of the Premier League season is not a bad return. And there's talent there, there's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. We're just seeing the replay, aren't we, for the block. I mean, it's well read, really well read.
Fulham 1, Chelsea 1. Long ball by Bassi, and King has got in down the right-hand side. Lacroix goes across with him. There's white shirts in the centre, and Lacroix did enough to stop it and put it behind for a corner.
He did, because Josh King had to wait for the numbers to join him in the box. That gave Lacroix the chance to get back and get the block. It's a brilliant run off the back of Lavia again. Well, Lacroix's got to see that, and he can't cross it early, and he wants to, because there's no one there.
Well, they've got to get to grips with Josh King, otherwise Chelsea are going to find themselves in a bit of a pickle. They started the game well. You're not supposed to be biased. You're supposed to be sitting on the fence tonight.
I can't when it's Fulham.
Of course you can't. Here is Palmer over on the left-hand side, being fouled by Josh King on the left edge of his own penalty area, and it's going to be a free kick. And Chelsea are going to have possession again.
It's a hell of a first half hour, isn't it?
It is, and I think it's one of those first half hours which sort of underscores how we feel as supporters about these two teams. I think both teams are sort of excited and sort of apprehensive in the same breath, really, because there is a lot of unknown about both the two managers and the squads and how they're going to approach the season. But I think entertainment-wise, it's been edge of your seat stuff so far.
Yeah, I tell you what Arbeloa will be really pleased with is how they regathered their composure after going a goal down.
Yeah.
Because they were at 6s and 7s for 5 minutes, weren't they?
Well, you did say that they will get to grips with it, and it didn't take them that long, actually.
No, but it could have been 2 down at that point.
Yeah. 1-1. Half an hour gone. You're listening to TalkSport Craven Cottage, opening weekend of the Premier League season, and it's been a brilliant campaign already in the EFL and in the early round of the first round of the Carabao Cup. We've got the second round for you tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. Here is Palmer down the right, in towards the near post. Oh, the shot by João Pedro, the sort of scissor kick from the penalty spot, goes whistling past the left-hand upright, and it's out for a goal kick. It's a big chance for Chelsea. Palmer and Pedro combining again, and that was a real opportunity for the Brazilian.
Every time Palmer gets the ball, he looks like making something happen. He does brilliantly, because he looks trapped on that right-hand side, puts in a beautiful ball. It's a few inches past the post from João Pedro's scissor kick, if you like.
It's a chance.
It's a good chance for a man of his quality. It just shows you first little glimpse they've had in a while.
Here is Cesar Palacios sending the ball left for Fulham, and Robinson with an early cross. Garcia tries to get there, but Sanchez comes out and punches it away before the Spaniard can reach it. And it's cleared up towards the halfway line. Bassi wins the duel with Cole Palmer, hands it off to Robinson. Robinson comes infield, plays it against the legs of James, and it's back to Sanchez again, who rifles the ball upfield, looking for João Pedro. Chests it down well, but Sonderberger gets there ahead of Rodgers.
I was just watching Palmer go into that challenge with Bassi, and I saw his face, he must have thought, no thanks, you crack on.
Surely this must be somebody else's responsibility. I think that can be described as a bit of a mismatch. Cole Palmer's good at a lot of things, but I'm not sure he's the best place to take on the rather robust and physical Calvin Bassi. Ball all the way back with the Fulham defence, and then back to their goalkeeper Bernd Leno, who sends it long and high into the night. Lacroix wrestling with Gonzalo Garcia, heads the ball away, but it comes back via Iwobi. Down the left trundles Anthony Robinson, and then it goes infield up to Iwobi and Bassi, and Fulham start to build again. And actually, after an initial period of the game where Chelsea completely dominated and had a lot of ball inside Fulham territory, the tale has turned a little, and there's a lot more Fulham possession.
Well, again, a lot of joy in that inside right wing and inside right position where Oscar Bob and Josh King are linking. Lavia's looking a bit leggy. I mean, I don't know how many minutes he's played pre-season, but a few times he's been run off the back of.
He's a player that hasn't played enough football over the course of the last 4 years.
No, I know that.
And he's picked up so many injuries and he's been out for such a long time. There's no doubt he's a very good player when he's 100% fit, but Chelsea, I think, do look as if they're missing Moi Caicedo in the middle of the park, but he's just won a tackle brilliantly on halfway, poked it through to Palmer, who's found João Pedro, who in turn finds Rodgers, edge of the area, cuts in on his right foot, tries a shot, takes a deflection, comes back to James, who rifles it left-footed from the edge of the area, straight down the throat of Bernd Leno. Well, he won the ball well in midfield there, Romeo Lavia, poked it through to João Pedro, Palmer on towards the left and Rodgers, and very quickly Chelsea were escaping through the middle of the Fulham half.
Yeah, you can't give the ball away in the middle of the pitch like Sanderberger there. You've got to have wing mirrors on. Can't get nicked like that.
Colwell tussling with Josh King. Colwell already in the book. Lacroix has emerged with the ball. He's gone up to halfway, held up by Rodgers, intelligently curls it into the path of Malagusto, who strides over halfway, and it goes to Palmer. Palmer back to a Champong, and Chelsea have possession on the halfway line. Fulham did lose a lot of goals in the summer, so they needed someone to step up. Wilson and Jimenez scored 19 of Fulham's 47 last season, which is 40% of them, and they both left on free transfers. No player left in the squad got more than 4, which is a real hole that Gonzalo Garcia, Palacios have been signed to try and fill, and Josh King and Oscar Bob have been expected to step up and try and help fill as well. Here is a Champon, right side for Chelsea, into Gusto on halfway, across to Lacroix. We're 10 minutes away from half-time here, and it's all square at the Cottage. The breakfast show with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoy is back tomorrow, 6 a.m. They're going to be joined by Carl Jenkinson. Here is a Champon going down the right for Chelsea, getting towards the edge of the area, and it goes out of play and away for a Chelsea corner kick after the intervention from Palacios.
Yeah, he did his work well there, Palacios. Got himself back in just in time. There's the little throw of Colwell, by Colwell on Josh King. He's got to be careful.
Yep. Here is the corner from Rodgers, sent to James and then headed down by Harto. Loose inside the box. Lavia prods it goal, but it's saved by Leno and it's smuggled behind. Well, the ball came short from the corner towards the edge of the area. It was swung in by James, and that ball caused a bit of an issue for Fulham, who appeared to just switch off slightly. Lavia kept it alive, and then it was prodded goalwards by Lavia straight into the body of Bernd Leno.
Yeah, they got a bit of luck on the ricochet, and it fell to Lavia. Leno's brilliant there. I mean, he gets out really sharp, keeps his body nice and wide.
Chelsea ringing the box with Rodgers, with Gusto, Palacios, 3 starting at the back post. They run towards the middle. It's punched away by Leno. That looked like a training ground routine from Chelsea. They've got a new set-piece coach, by the way, this summer. Austin McPhee has been signed from Aston Villa. It's
you should have caught that, Leno. Just, I don't get it when there's nobody on you and it's floated in. Why you're punching a ball, I'll never ever understand it.
Cole Palmer is complaining here that after being shrugged off the ball and then pulled back by Palacios with 2 hands on his shirt, that Palacios didn't get a yellow card.
Well, he's right, isn't he?
Yeah. Especially bearing in mind that Chelsea have already picked up 2 yellow cards. Austin McPhee, by the way, has emerged on the edge of the technical area, still with his Viking locks, unlike certain Erling Haaland, who's decided to dispense with them.
He looks well. I like him without the locks.
Do you?
Yeah.
James to take the free kick from this right-hand side. He swells it to the far post. It's headed away by Castagna. Good strong header which gets it well outside the box left side. Retrieved by Lavia. Then on to Gusto. And then James, who's now deep inside his own half. He sends it all the way back to Sanchez, and that will go down as good defending by Fulham. He sends it long, Sanchez, out wide to the left, and it's into Rodgers, miscontrolled by Harto. Fulham have it back again. And it remains 1-1 on TalkSport. I mentioned that Carl Jenkinson, the former Arsenal West Ham defender, will be in the studio tomorrow with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoy. They're on air from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, then Jim and Simon back from 10 straight afterwards. And straight after us, by the way, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy back on the Sports Bar from 10:30 tonight, taking all of your calls and bringing you all the fallout from tonight's game.
I'd really like, thinking of the bench for Fulham, obviously Sessegnon with the pace and athleticism. If he was to come on in this left-hand side where Palacios is playing, it could be a real handful.
Certainly would be.
Because Palacios ain't going to last the 90, that's for sure.
And he was playing out there for a lot of last season, wasn't he? When Robinson was having his injury problems, he was playing at left back.
Yeah,
he did very well. Ball cleared upfield by Bernd Leno. Gonzalo Garcia wins the header in front of Lacroix. Now Palacios picks up the pieces. Garcia gets it, sends it wide. Robinson takes over, down in the left wing position, looking to beat Gusto. He gets the cross in deep to the far post, but it's too high for Castagna. Harto watches it sail over his head, and it's with Josh King down the right side of the penalty area. Played into Bob, and then on the edge of the area, Sonderberger wrestling with João Pedro. Comes back to Bassi, who hammers one. It ricochets kindly for Robinson. He guides it back towards Iwobi. Iwobi takes a couple of steps infield, then turns and goes back out again. And now Robinson will attack the penalty area from the left side once again. A little roll by Palacios. A Champon can only poke it straight towards Berger. It goes back to Oscar Bob. Bob clips it towards the far side. Robinson with a header. Sanchez should come and claim that. And he does, he picks it out of the sky, and he'll clear upfield very quickly for Chelsea. He took the lead up 30 seconds, could have been pegged back by that goal from Josh King. One by Rodgers, who's taken advantage of a mishap by Bassi. He's played it infield to João Pedro, didn't get rid of it quick enough and then drew the foul from King. That's going to be a free kick just in front of the centre circle. 1-1.
I thought Sander Berge could have taken a shot away there. It's hard to know when you're watching it live, but it comes to him, and I think if he just had a bit more awareness, he could have got that ball out of his feet quicker to get the shot off. I think that's why the fans were a bit frustrated. One too many passes, wasn't it?
Fulham 1, Chelsea 1. And Reece James in conversation with Levi Colwell, 2 academy graduates, as is a Champon for Chelsea. I'll be pleased to see those players come through. Cole Palmer and Morgan Rodgers, products of the Manchester City Academy, where they came through together and very good friends. And Palmer is on the pitch now and on the ball, and he plays it down the right into Lacroix, who gets into the area, takes on the defender, goes on the outside, pulls it through the box. It's got to be Rodgers, surely, to score a debut goal in front of the Fulham supporters. He swipes it into the far corner, and Morgan Rodgers scores on his Chelsea debut. But Maxence Lacroix deserves a hell of a lot of credit for stepping out of defence into the right channel and pulling the ball across for the Chelsea number 17. It's Fulham 1, Chelsea 2, just before half-time.
Well, this is absolutely outstanding from Lacroix. The skill and the calmness to pick out Rodgers. It's a really good play, isn't it? Starts on that right-hand side from Gusto. Palmer's involved again, but I've got to say, Sander Berge defending on Palmer there was really poor.
And Cuenca didn't cover himself in glory either, did he?
Sander Berge's he's dived in, and then Cuenca turned his back to the ball.
It's a terrific ball by Lacroix, though, to get it through the 2 Fulham players, to feed it to Rodgers, who slams it home, and it's 2-1 Chelsea, and Xabi Alonso absolutely delighted on the touchline. And look, Morgan Rodgers is doing Cole Palmer's celebration.
Yeah.
Berger out towards this near side, but those two look very lively, don't they? Rodgers, Palmer has been brilliant again. He's flicked the ball beautifully out towards his right hand side. Gusto, heavy touch, but Rodgers has got it all. He tried to flick that immediately to João Pedro, didn't come off.
Palmer's been absolutely outstanding. Sharp.
A Champon, brilliant against King, wins it well. He's been very good as well, a Champon.
I just don't understand if you're playing against Palmer, you never dive in. You've got to keep yourself between the goal and Palmer. Don't try and nick it, because he'll turn you, he'll spin you. He's too clever.
He's a super talent, and that talent has been on display. He made the first goal, he had a role in the second one as well, and Chelsea's 2 debutants, Lacroix and Rodgers, combined eventually for that second goal that puts them 2-1 up here, live on TalkSport on this Monday night. And across goes Palmer to shut down Robinson. It's picked up by Palacios.
The thing is, Sander Berge's experience, I wouldn't mind if it was a younger lad in the middle of the pitch, but he's experienced player. He's played in the Premier League for a long time and played against Palmer before.
Gusto and Garcia have collided on this near side. Garcia a little bit upset that there wasn't some infringement called there. The referee is telling him to get back to his feet, hobbling back into position now. Chelsea have possession, and there's 2 minutes before the break. Here is Palmer, right side, looking up. Rodgers wanted it infield. A Champon a little bit short with his pass. Palacios closed him down well, but Chelsea recover through Lavia. Then a Champon again. And I'm sure Xabi Alonso will be thinking to himself, actually, if it hadn't have been for that mishap by the goalkeeper and Lavia switching off and allowing King to run into that position, it might have been the perfect first 45 minutes. They lead by 2-1. Gusto trying to run in behind. Cuenca goes towards him and gets there first, but it's a poor ball out by him, and Rodgers nips in, gives it to Palmer, edge of the area, tries to bend one. It was a teasing ball which was about a foot wide of the post in the end. but he curled that viciously out from his left foot towards the far post. He had the confidence to take that shot on. Wasn't too far away.
Yeah, Cuenca's made a few little errors, hasn't he, in the first half. It's a great effort from Palmer. So clever.
Yeah, listening to Fulham 1, Chelsea 2 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, whatever it is, they're here for it. And, well, both teams have been here for it today, haven't they? Ball over the top by João Pedro. Castagna's got to be clean with his header, and he is, because Rodgers was hunting. The work rate from those forward players has been impressive. Although, I think earlier on you made a list of characteristics that should be non-negotiable. Work rate, competitive nature, and never wanting to lose was all three of them.
Very basic.
I think they've all applied tonight.
Yeah.
Now, we did see some games where teams look mildly off it.
We do, but you shouldn't, should you, really?
Certainly enjoyed our trip to the cottage so far. Here's Gonzalo Garcia, bringing the ball down in the left wing position for Fulham, who trailed after 30 seconds, fought back the trail again, and then the back heel from Garcia is a little naive, and the ball has been cleared away by Chelsea. Pedro can't combine with James, and Fulham have it back again. There's going to be 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, of which we're already into the first of those, and Chelsea are leading. Palacios up to Garcia. Lacroix goes to engage him, got really tight to him, just gives him a little shove in the back to make sure that Garcia knows that he's there. Bob takes it down the right touchline, travels infield, runs into a knot of blue shirts. Lavia goes across and whacks it clear.
It's a good job he's got some help, Harto. They can't cope with him one-on-one.
Something that Xabi Alonso might have to think about. I don't think Jarell Harto is going to be the first choice left-sided wing-back over the course of the season. That's why they've brought in Javaria.
Oh, he's a good footballer, Harto. I mean, he's a young lad, he's learning, but I think defensively against the player of the pace and skill of Oscar Bob, he's finding it a little bit difficult at times.
Yeah, he's still very young, and if you watched him last season, 20 years of age, he played left back, left centre back, stepped into midfield at times, and there were a few mistakes over the course of the season, but he seemed to get better every month. He seemed to learn from those mistakes, which is what you want from a young player when they're coming into a team like Chelsea. Clipped over the top by Bassi into Iwobi. Palmer fighting for it. Berger gives it back to Cuenca. Cuenca, who's in the team because of Anderson's suspension today, plays it forward.
Yeah, I think Tete could be an option to play a centre-back. He's got that bit more composure and pace. I mean, Cuenca's more traditional, orthodox centre-back, obviously, but Tete's more than capable. Very athletic, good footballer.
Luc de Fougerols is the only other centre-back in the squad tonight, out-and-out centre-back, the youngster. Rodgers trying to turn and squeeze between two white shirts, including Bob and Berger over on the far side, and gets pulled down. And that is the half-time whistle, the last act of the first half. João Pedro got things going after just 30 seconds with a goal that put Chelsea in front. Josh King exposed a weakness in Chelsea's title charge, really, in the fact that Robert Sanchez dived over the ball and completely missed an effort from the edge of the area, which he probably should have saved. Morgan Rodgers scored on his debut after excellent work from Palmer and Lacroix 4 minutes before the break. Chelsea have got a couple of disciplinary issues. Levi Colwell and Romeo Lavia picking up early cards in the game, but at half-time they are in front by the Thames. They lead by 2-1.
Just watching Cole Palmer, who's taking his boots off, walking in his stocking feet towards the corner, towards the tunnel. He's just had a word with the officials. How good has he been? He's playing Danny Murphy like a player who's really frustrated he didn't go to the World Cup.
For me, he's playing like a player who's enjoying it because he's fit, he's sharp, he's had a good pre-season, and every time he gets the ball, he makes something happen. I said it before, when we were talking before the game, he sees the pictures so early, and he makes it so much easier for those playing around him because he feeds the ball so much quicker than most because he sees it so quick, and that's what the top players do. He's been the best player on the pitch.
Oh, by some distance. And when you were rightly pointing out, Sander Berge dived in, Cole Palmer just a little drop of the shoulder, and he lets the ball run, he goes onto it, he's surging towards goal. It's brilliant from Cole Palmer, there's no question about that. But Sander Berge isn't stupid. He's been in that position many times in his career. all he could see was that Cole Palmer was going to collect the ball. So he's gone to address that. But he's so clever, so quick. He seems to have so much time because he takes his time, doesn't he?
He does, and he's got. Although he's not the quickest, he's really sharp over that yard or two when he bursts with the ball. The thing is, when you're playing against players of that quality, it only takes a couple of seconds. You know they're good, but you might be a bit frustrated with yourself. You want to make an impact. You haven't touched it for a while. I'm going to go and rattle someone in a tackle, and just for that split second, you forget who it is. Or you just lose yourself for a second, and then you're done. You know what? It's happened to me many times. I remember diving in trying to smash Tevez, I think it was, when he was playing with Rooney for Man United one day up front, because I hadn't touched the ball for ages, and I thought he's getting it. He nutmegged me, jumped over me. I think he fed it to Wayne, and the next thing they scored, and we lost 4-0 in a cup game. And you just, in that moment, if I was commentating on myself and saying, what's he doing? Why are you diving in on Tevez? He's going to kill you.
You've got to let it go.
And in the moment, just there's many more. But in that moment, you just lose yourself, and he's getting frustrated, Sanderberger, because he's giving the ball away a lot as well, and he's trying to make an impact.
Listen, it's a brilliant start from Chelsea, and Cole Palmer involved as well. João Pedro's first touch, the finish is great, what Palmer does is great. João Pedro's first touch, where he takes it past the defender, is absolutely magnificent, just 32 seconds into the season.
Well, the one thing with him, he doesn't seem flustered ever when he's finishing. He's got that lovely composure about him. He settled himself, didn't he, and waited, and then he just picked his spot. But it's his all-round game. His link-up's good, and I like the fact that every time one of the boys in the pockets gets it, Palmer or Rodgers, he's spinning. He's running without the ball, and he makes a lot of runs where he doesn't get the ball. And you need that, don't you, to be a top team? You need one of your forward players to be able to run in behind and then turn players around. And as we said before the game, and it's proved right in this first half, that front three could get the back players and this Chelsea defensive unit out of a lot of trouble.
They could. So João Pedro playing like a man who feels he should have gone to the World Cup as well. They could have seen red. Levi Colwill could have seen red. Yellow was probably right. Anthony Robinson, they would shout for handball in there. Pro ref have said that it was a header first. They deemed it to be a header first. I felt he was a little bit lucky there. Josh King, though, this is a season when surely he comes of age. Listen, he's had a blast from a tight angle. Robert Sanchez should keep it out, but I love the fact that he's shooting. He wants to score.
Well, I talked about his end product and needing to do a bit more. I mean, he's young, obviously. I mean, it takes time to build up your physical capabilities at this level and your confidence. And he hit one, I don't know, 5-10 minutes before that, didn't he? And stung the fingertips of Sanchez. But when he's getting the ball in these forward areas, his confidence and belief is higher than I saw last year. He's going past people and he looks a bit sharper. Maybe he's grown a little bit, maybe he's obviously been in the gym, whatever, but he looks a bit more complete and a bit more impactful in that final third. And he also put in a couple of great balls where Fulham didn't quite get the numbers in the box to make the most of it. But he's been really impressive, and I like his link up with Oscar Bob, because when Oscar Bob was at Man City and first burst on the scene, we seen that he's a super talent, you know, and they've spent big money on him here, and I think if he can stay fit for a period of time, that little link up between those two on that right hand side could be really good for Fulham this season. The problem is they do look a bit lightweight on this left side. I know he's a young lad, Palacios, give him time, but he just physically looks a little bit off for me.
Yeah, I think Arbeloa, one of his jobs is to get a game out of Bob, 30 million, and Emile Smith-Rowe, 32 million on the bench. Kevin, 34, 35 million, he's on the bench as well. He's got to get big games out of those big money players. João Pedro volleyed wide again. Cole Palmer absolutely superb, and then Maxence Lacroix, centre half. The cross was superb. Everything about the goal was absolutely brilliant. Palmer involved again. Morgan Rogers, the finish. Chelsea just about, I think, possibly deserved to be in front.
I think you're probably right. Yeah, I didn't expect the assist to come from such a wonderful bit of skill from Lacroix. I mean, the Cuenca, the classic turn your back and get done on the, you know, like he's pretending to shoot and chopped him. He's got to stay focused on the ball there. But
by the way, Leno coming that far out of his goal.
Yeah, that was a little strange as well.
Weird, wasn't it?
But the composure from Lacroix, irrelevant of what Fulham do, to actually, of a centre half, let's say, to actually then get his head up, make the right pass. Rodgers was never going to miss, was he? So I think overall you're right. I think they probably just deserve the lead, yeah.
Do you know what, just will say something. The new laws in the game, the way they're being implemented, stopping time wasting. There's a high threshold in terms of physical contact. There were less VAR intervention. I'm actually impressed this first weekend of the season. We've seen some good football matches. This first half has been superb.
It's a great point. Another one. That's 2 in one night. I agree. I actually think the refereeing was good. The games I did yesterday. Tonight we haven't mentioned them, have we, really? Long may it continue.
Indeed. We've had plenty to gripe about the last 7 years. Maybe, just maybe, they're finally going to get it right this season. Great first half. Chelsea lead by 2-1. It's live and exclusive on TalkSport.
Kick-off live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Crocs clips just dropped in Happy Meal. Express yourself however you feel. Sports mode, stylish or superstar too. Whatever your vibe, we've got the mode for you. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until the 21st of September from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. Crocs range comprises toys only while stocks last. Fair ordering policy applies.
Imagine a place where you can escape for a day. Get immersed in a world of rules, inspiration and expertise. Where you can laze in luxury accommodation. And kids can feast from 95 pence. Tickets are free to everyone and include all the attractions. You just imagine a day out at IKEA. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Football is back and it's game on. Get the ultimate football coverage with the Sun's free pull-out goals. With expert opinion and tactical analysis, you get it all with goals. And with unrivaled news from the Premier League, EFL and Cup competitions, it has to be goals. Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every match week on Saturday, Sunday, Monday and Wednesday, only in the Sun.
It's another day at Screwfix, and so Mo Farah is learning the ropes.
So, Mo, with Click and Collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Lunches. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, Mo. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat my PB one day.
Back in the Mo.
Click and collect in as little as 1 minute. Screwfix. No stopping you.
Incredible scenes here at the Village Hotel's Pub and Grill. Fans are taking their place in the fan zone with stadium-style seating, amazing views on huge screens, and we're underway. Lovely bit of dribbling there as she tackles the burger stack. Now they're getting down the wings. Sticky barbecue. Unbelievable. Oh, and he's hit the bar. And it's there. His favourite ice-cold beer. What a result. Catch every game live in the Pub and Grill at Village. Get in. Find out more at villagehotels.com.
You know that feeling when your Build-A-Bet looks nailed on, then suddenly a late goal lets you down. With new Ghost Leg from Sky Bet, that game may be down, but that doesn't mean you're out. Simply opt in and create a pre-match Build-A-Bet with 5 legs or more. If one leg lets you down, we'll make it vanish and pay out on the remaining legs. Games back with new Ghost Leg from Sky Bet for the fans. Max 8 varies. Combined minimum odds 3-1. Cash bets only. Eligibility restrictions and further T&Cs apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Kick off live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Fulham versus Chelsea live today. 18+. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Stamina, celebrity, lightspeed weeknight football. Kick off live on TalkSport.
Well, fans here just soaking up that first half. Fulham 1, Chelsea 2, another 45 plus to come live and exclusive on TalkSport. Xabi Alonso's back on drive tomorrow afternoon alongside Andy Goldstein. It's Gabby's first outing on the station since Aston Villa were walloped by Brighton yesterday. He'd actually spent Saturday on social media having a right go at Man United for losing at Hull, a right go at Spurs for losing at Brentford. And he's piped right down since Villa got absolutely battered. Funny that, isn't it? He's back on drive tomorrow on TalkSport, 4 p.m. with Andy Goldstein, Xabi Alonso. You will not want to miss that. And if you want more reaction to the Premier League weekend, the Premier League All Access podcast available now. Sam Matchface, Alex Crook, Troy Deeney giving you their thoughts. I had to listen to that today. Troy Deeney having a pop at me for saying I think James Trafford is actually quite good and might have an England chance here. Cheers, Troy. That's on the TalkSport app or wherever you get your podcasts. Outrageous.
It's not a wild take.
Well, I didn't think it was either. I think there's going to be a real battle between the two of them.
Yeah, he's a hell of a keeper. Sam?
Trafford is brilliant.
Yeah,
I think he's superb.
With the ball at his feet as well, he's superb.
So did you stick up for 8?
I don't remember him saying that.
I think he did. Did he say
Is
this like Danny not listening to your commentary?
I wasn't listening to Troy. He's in all my fantasy teams, James Trafford, because I know he's going to make loads of saves.
Troy Deeney's in
and do you know what? He made a couple of good saves in a pre-season friendly that I saw him in, and then on Saturday I thought it was excellent. And the way he plays the ball out, as you were about to say, with his feet, I think it's terrific.
Clean sheet the weekend. Poor Troy, he might be getting dug out here, and he said nothing wrong.
No, it's all right. He's in New York. He can't hear.
I did see a clip of him on Instagram. I assumed it was from your All Access podcast, so I may be wrong, but it's brilliant anyway. It's on the TalkSport app, wherever you get your podcasts. The Premier League All Access with Sam Crookie and Troy Deeney. Leeds beat Nottingham Forest this weekend. They meet again tomorrow night in the Carabao Cup. Let's hear from both managers, Daniel Farker, in a moment, but let's start with Oliver Glasner, who was asked if he can bring his cup-winning experience to Forest.
Unfortunately, I'm no magician. I have no drink. We give the players that we win anything, but we will play to win tomorrow's game, definitely. And then let's see.
We have a special way to play, and Nottingham as well. So same players, and same managers. But I think also there will be some changes also in the starting lineup, probably for both teams, and it's a different competition. Also the way you play the cup is slightly different in comparison to a Premier League game, because it's a do or die game. There's always a winner in the end, and even if it's with a penalty shootout. So for that I expect again a tight game, and will be difficult also to win on the road against this tough opponent.
Forest Leeds Carabao Cup second round. We've got live commentary on TalkSport 2 of that one at the City Ground, on TalkSport at the same time tomorrow night, after taking you around the grounds, all the goals as they go in for all of the Carabao Cup ties. I'm going to be based at Plymouth against Coventry. Wednesday I'm going to be based at Preston against Everton. That's some journey, isn't it?
I don't know how you do it.
Why did you balance it? I thought I had it bad. I'm doing Newcastle and then Stamford Bridge the next day, but that's just...
But mate, you know we love it. We don't mind at all. And I'm absolutely
Say that
fine
again, you're going...
Plymouth Coventry Tuesday, Preston Everton on Wednesday. It's a 5.5 hour train ride, Plymouth to Preston. I'm up for it. Love a long train ride.
If it's on time.
If it even runs, who knows? So
what have you got on your iPad?
Nothing.
Look, well, you're a reader.
I'm a reader.
Yeah.
But I will definitely be doing some prep for both shows.
I've got some books you should read.
I bet you have. I read intelligent.
About 35 years old.
I do a sports book podcast here. I've got 1 billion books that I need to be reading. Anyway, that's Wednesday night. I'll be at Preston. We've got commentary of Spurs Charlton on TalkSport, commentary of Newcastle West Brom on TalkSport 2. If you've never heard of Mike Penders, you might think it's some sort of New York private detective from a TV show in the 1970s. He's actually a Thibaut Courtois wannabe. He's the Chelsea reserve keeper, about 6'7", was on loan at Strasbourg, kept a lot of clean sheets last season. He might be watching on from the bench thinking, I might have a chance of first team football here this coming season, because Robert Sanchez did not cover himself in glory. Fellas at the other end have got him out of trouble though. It's Fulham 1, Chelsea 2, as the players make their way out for the second half of this final Premier League game of the opening weekend of the season. It's been brilliant so far. Another 45 plus to come in the company of the former England midfielder Danny Murphy, alongside your commentator Sam Matface.
Well, this is a local argument that's been running since 1910, 82 league meetings over 116 years, and it's been largely one-way traffic. Chelsea have won 49 to Fulham's 10. In the Premier League it reads 23 wins for Chelsea, 4 to Fulham, and Chelsea have won 6 of their last 8 visits to this ground. But the Cottagers have got a little bit more competitive in it. Fulham have won 3 of the last 8 meetings overall, and that after 20 without a win over 15 years. I mean, the gap always has been pretty real. But we are back underway at the start of the second half, with Fulham now attacking the goal away to our right-hand side, the Hammersmith end. They're still in their white shirts with black shorts and white socks, and Chelsea in all blue with rather bright yellow trim, attacking the goal away to our left. It's a very minimalistic kit, Chelsea. They have no front of shirt sponsor again, and they just have the Chelsea monogram badge, the Nike tick, and the FIFA Club World Cup gold medal in the middle of their chest.
I like it. Do you?
Yeah, I think it's very neat.
Yeah.
Very neat. Actually, if you get up close to it, it has got a massive Chelsea badge emblazoned in the background of the blue shirt. Here is Hato on the near side. I'll go through the 11s in just a second. Rodgers takes it on, sends it down into the left wing position. Hato almost grabs hold of it, but he's wrestling with Castagna. Comes back, gives it to Rodgers, who scored on his debut to put Chelsea in front in the match. He turns and tries to get around the two defenders that are shuttling across to try and shut him down. Gives it back to Lavia. Centre field is James, and Chelsea go back to Colwill. Here is Jarell Hato, the Dutchman, wearing a long sleeve version of the Chelsea shirt, before giving it back to Colwill, and then Lavia tries to pierce the defence and gives it to Pedro, who turns and shoots. It's blocked by Cuenca, who got very close to him and stopped him from managing to squeeze that into the far corner. And then Fulham try to bring the ball out on this right-hand side. But as Castagna attempts to do that, it's a little nudge from João Pedro, and it goes out for a foul. Good start from Chelsea at the start of the second half.
Yeah, all that move started from a poor clearance from Cuenca again. Just lacking a bit of confidence with the ball at his feet. He was a bit rash a couple of times early in the game as well.
Aside from Villarreal in 2024, it's taken a little while to grow into English football. 9 straight league starts last winter.
Yeah, he did all right when he had that run. I watched a couple of the games, but he's just, I don't know, maybe tonight because he started a little bit poorly with the ball, he's just lost a bit of confidence.
He's part of the Fulham defence that line up in front of Bernd Leno. Castagna is the right back, Bassi, Cuenca and Robinson the back four, Iwobi and Berger the two in midfield, with Bob, King and Palacios behind Gonzalo Garcia. Here is Bob wrestling with Colwill, who got an early yellow card, manages to get there first and clear. Hato plays against the defender and it comes to Rodgers. In midfield is Romeo Lavia, who sends the ball out to the right, diagonally onto Palmer, who chases away to the far side, beats Robinson, comes in field, and then runs up to Palacios and twirls away from him with a lovely bit of skill, then squeezes between Robinson and Palacios, and then goes on the outside, tries to come up with a brilliant finish with his left foot, but flips the ball just wide of the post. It was a terrific effort. He can't believe he's not getting a corner for that. But it was a brilliant run from Cole Palmer, who was absolutely having himself there. He was twisting, he was turning, and he was leaving Robinson and Palacios with twisted blood.
It's just superb, isn't it? Absolute joy to watch. Great close control, great awareness of where people are. Amazing to think he wasn't in the World Cup squad with the talent he's got. I know he had a poor season, I know he had injuries, but
he looks at it, doesn't he, tonight? He looks up to full speed. He looks like the old Cole Palmer. And I remember, that's a ball that's going to go over the top to João Pedro, because the leap by Rodgers didn't touch the ball, and João Pedro is running to the edge of the area now, and he's got Palmer on the overlap, and he puts it through the legs of the goalkeeper and scores. Brilliant from Cole Palmer. Very cheeky little finish underneath. Bernd Leno got caught out. So did Fulham, because the high ball was missed by Rodgers. And it ran all the way through to João Pedro, who on the inside left channel went racing away. He fed Cole Palmer. The angle was so tight, he had no right to score from there. So he slipped it through the goalkeeper's legs, and Chelsea now lead by 3-1 away from home at Fulham.
Well, you don't expect anything less from this young lad. We'll have a look on the replay in a minute, but it's very deliberate. It's a straight kick from the goalkeeper. I mean, how João Pedro is on his own. You've got the central midfielder player, Sander Berger, tracking him. Not sure where Calvin Bassey's gone. It's a lovely little overlap, isn't it? Or does he go down the side of him?
It's a brilliant ball into Palmer, and he pops it straight through the legs of the goalkeeper. Yeah. Excellent. And on opening night for Xabi Alonso, and we mentioned the stellar attack in the build-up to the game. I think I said it was mouth-watering. Well, João Pedro, Morgan Rodgers and Cole Palmer have all scored. And Chelsea lead by 3-1.
Did really well, João Pedro, because the patience to wait for the timing of the run. Not too early, not too late. Make sure he was onside. Weight of the pass. Just clever footballers enjoy playing together, don't they?
Rodgers combining with João Pedro, and Harto is speeding away, and Castagne's going to struggle to keep up with him, and Harto sings the ball back into the centre. A chance maybe for Rodgers to finish it, but he can't get there. And Fulham look a little bit concerned about the pace that Chelsea have got when they win the ball on the halfway line, and that high line has been exposed a couple of times at the early part of this second half. And Chelsea, if they had taken full advantage there, they would have been 4-1 up before we'd got to the 50-minute mark.
Well, you can only play a high line in football if your centre-halves are as quick as the players they're marking. You can't play a high line otherwise. You have to have defenders who are capable of matching the runs of the forwards and having the same pace. Otherwise you're just asking for trouble, as they did on the goal there.
There's another example there where you've got Bassi and Cuenca, who are literally probably about 7 yards inside the Chelsea half. The ball gets turned over deep. Palmer picks it up, and then if he releases it, there's a massive problem. Well, Harto's gone down under pressure from Castagne. It looked like a 50-50 challenge. The referee has blown his whistle. Harto's been given the free kick. Calvin Bassi's going across to try and mitigate. But I don't think Danny thought that was a foul, and having a look at the replay, it doesn't look like one.
No, he goes in, he slides along the floor, he gets the ball, doesn't touch the guy.
Actually, Harto comes across and hits him, really. This was the opportunity at the other end for Harto, who actually, if he had passed the ball to Palmer instead of trying to guide it back to Rodgers, he would have been it would have been 4-1. He didn't see it, and he's explaining that to Cole Palmer now. Chelsea lead by 3-1. 27,000 in here tonight for the opening day of the season. And Chelsea haven't had to step too far. These two share a postcode. It's a short walk from Fulham Broadway as João Pedro goes speeding forward, tries to get there ahead of Bassi as the ball's played upfield by Chelsea. But Leno eventually gets the pass from Bassi. Chelsea, actually, their diary keeps them on the tube for the next couple of weeks. Their first 6 league games are all in London, would you believe? And they even got drawn at home in the Carabao Cup second round to Luton Thursday night, live on TalkSport.
Always been lucky.
You make your own luck, Dan, you know that.
They won't need much luck if those three are at it every week.
Well, the one benefit that Chelsea have got this season is, although those league fixtures seem to have been kind in terms of travel, they do have to play Arsenal very shortly. But the other thing is that without any European football, the workload on those three is actually going to be quite light this season, comparatively to what they're used to.
Yeah, the only caveat to that is when you don't have that many games, you've got more chaos in the dressing room and more players knocking on your door.
Yeah, well,
especially with the size of the squad, and that's a headache a manager doesn't really want.
8 days left of the transfer window, and it'll be fascinating to see what happens at Chelsea, because they need to get more out than they do in, really. Our chief football correspondent Alex Crook will be snaring stories like number 9 snaffling goals for the next week or so. Colwell switches off, Castagne takes advantage, shoots towards the goalkeeper, he's headed by Gonzalo Garcia. The goalkeeper can't keep it out, it hits the underside of the crossbar, and Fulham close the gap to just 1. The second Fulham goal of the night. A fortuitous hit, really, from Gonzalo Garcia, was in the right place at the right time as the ball came back off the goalkeeper. Colwell, who made a real mistake there, a ball over the top he probably should have dealt with, he didn't. He allowed Castagne to come in, and as it rebounded off the goalkeeper, it smashed into the face of Gonzalo Garcia, and then it hit the underside of the crossbar and squirmed into the net. It's Fulham 2, Chelsea 3.
Well, exactly what you want from a striker. Right place, right time, opportunistic. Terrific little finish. You're right about Colwell. It's a simple ball to deal with, isn't it? It was a long diagonal from Cuenca. Castagne had made a run from right back, and he capitalised on the mistake, didn't he? Got his shot away. Don't think Sanchez can be blamed for that one, to be honest with you. Decent save, but not sure what Colwell's thinking, really.
Well, Castagne should never have got the shot away from there. You know, the ball over the top, that should be meat and drink to Levi Colwell. He's made a mistake. Castagne's got the shot away, and then the goalkeeper's pushed it into Gonzalo Garcia, and it's 3-2 to Chelsea. Here's Robinson at the other end now, trying to get forward and get the ball into the box. Bob's going to keep it in by the corner flag. And Fulham renewed, and he's gone past Harto this time. He's running to the penalty area. He's gone past Lavia. He's laid it back. Castagna's got it. Then it's on to the far post. He's looking for Robinson, and Sanchez is going to come out and grab it after the cross from Castagna. And Chelsea breathe a little sigh of relief. But Fulham have responded well again to conceding yet another goal. That goal from Palmer, it might have been the death knell really on the game, but actually they've come back and they'll be inspired by that Gonzalo Garcia goal, and for him to score in his debut as well, that's exactly what Álvaro Arbeloa would have wanted.
Well, we're seeing the good and bad, aren't we, of both sides, but especially Chelsea. Talk about handing the initiative back. I still think Fulham have got to be much more careful when they lose possession, because they are all over the place. They will concede again unless they tighten it up a little bit.
And Chelsea look like a back 3/5 that hasn't played together, don't they? I mean, this is not something that we've seen in pre-season, that's for sure. Here is King onto Bassi. Bassi out wide to the right, where it's picked up by Castagna again. Fulham trying to get an equaliser here. King down the right side. Lavia puts it out, and it's out for a corner, and that gets everybody in the Hammersmith end up and at them. And Fulham, having been 3-1 down after 50 minutes, are threatening now to peg Chelsea back again. Chelsea's attack looks good, their defence looks a little bit dodgy. Here's the cross on from the near side from the corner by Bob to the far post. Bassi comes charging at the goalkeeper. It's taken at the high point by Robert Sanchez.
You've got to have someone standing in front of the keeper to stop him allowing. Every other team does it. Not sure why Fulham aren't.
Here is Palmer trying to take it from the throw-in, and Cuenca comes across, no nonsense this time, fires it up into that very posh Riverside stand opposite us. I know you've spent a bit of time over there.
I have, it's beautiful. Yes, really, really lovely.
Your sort of surroundings, I think.
Not really, but I'm getting used to it. No, I've done a couple of corporate gigs there, and it's absolutely fantastic. Food's great as well. Really good.
I must admit, I did a TV commentary game here last season, and the TV commentary position's on the other side. We're in the old stand, the Johnny Haynes stand here, and I nicked in and had a pie at half-time. Gourmet pie, it must be said. They were very friendly over there, actually. They were quite generous. Here is Josh King taking the ball out of the sky, clips it out towards the near side. Harto's going to win that, nudges it back to the centre of the centre circle, where Colwell guides it back to his goalkeeper. Fulham 2, Chelsea 3, a rip-roaring contest in West London. Harto and Castagna, the two 21s, having a bit of a duel on this near side. And I noticed that Harto definitely getting higher up in this second half. That's a tactical instruction.
Possibly, or just dictated to by the game. I can see Arbeloa, he was chatting. I don't know if he was chatting with the fourth official or one. He's got to be looking at one or two changes, I think, soon, freshen it up a little bit.
Fulham 2, Chelsea 3. It took too long, Harto, to throw the ball in from the near side, and it's an example of those new laws. If you take more than 5 seconds to take a throw in, it goes to the other team, and Harto's given the ball straight back to Fulham. You can't afford to dawdle nowadays. You can't afford to doodle either.
Well, no.
Here is Garcia wrestling with Lacroix, and he backs into him and wins the foul, and that again raises the heckles of the Fulham support. They get on their feet and start to roar their team forward in search of an equaliser. We hit the hour mark on Talk Sport in West London at Craven Cottage. 27,000 in here tonight, but it sounds like a lot more as Cuenca comes forward for Fulham. Our defence has already conceded 3 times, and an attack that has already breached Robert Sanchez twice. Can they do it for a 3rd time and rock Chelsea back on their heels? The momentum of the game has shifted since that Gonzalo Garcia goal. It goes back to the right, onto Castagna. Castagna into King. King infield. Now it's taken back by Bassi, and Bassi slides the ball out wide to Bob, who shows a bit too much of it to Harto, but he doesn't win it. King has moved down into the right wing position. The reverse ball by Bob finds King. It's back to Berger, edge of the area, whips across into the box, clipped away by Lacroix, who's desperately trying to get his team out from the back. They're sitting a little bit too deep. Goes to the halfway line. Iwobi takes it on. Infield to Palacios. Palacios, the youngster signed from the Real Madrid Castilla, where Arbeloa spent the first 6 months in charge last season. And he had a very good record there, but this is his first ever permanent gig in charge of a frontline team, Álvaro Arbeloa. And just like the players that are adapting to the Premier League, you can imagine that he's going to have to as well.
Absolutely. You've got to be wary because Fulham are having a good spell and Chelsea don't mind sitting in because they know how good they are on the counter. Just don't want to get lulled into a false sense of security, Fulham, at this right now.
Yeah, like they won it back through Lavia and then a miscontrol from Rodgers gets him out of dodge and it's picked up by Bob, edge of the area. He glides into the box now. He needs a pass. He waited too long and Lavia comes and prods it clear. It's back with Bassi, who flies one out towards Robinson. It's too hefty for him. And it goes straight out of play and away for a goal kick away to our right. Fulham 2, Chelsea 3. This is TalkSport live at Craven Cottage. Remember, tomorrow morning we've got the breakfast show back with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoy. And tonight, straight after we finish, and we're finishing a little bit later tonight at 10:30, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy will be back on the sports bar taking all of your calls, bringing you all the fallout from tonight's game. 03717 22 33 4. That is the number to call. Moises Caicedo and Chelsea. It's Jordan Henderson watching on as Rodgers clicks the ball towards the far post on the from the Chelsea left. It comes back to Gusto's poor cross is easily intercepted by Cuenca and Chelsea's attack breaks down. Back to the right. Reece James has it now. You're listening to Fulham 2, Chelsea 3 on TalkSport with Sky Sports, and don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly in minutes, like Fulham versus Chelsea, live right now, streamed via the internet. Terms and conditions apply. Rodgers in the pocket, gets away from Berger, and then on to João Pedro, who shoots on the turn from the edge of the D, and it was a wild effort. And he did have a runner in Cole Palmer, who he could have slipped in. He went for glory instead, and it was well over the top of the crossbar. Danny Murphy.
It was a good ball from Macquarie actually through the lines, but again Sander Berger just trying to win it too early. Rodgers doing what Palmer did, getting in that position and then getting onto the back line of Fulham.
Maybe Alonso thinking about making some substitutes. His assistants over on the far side having a bit of a word with him. The ball. Sebas Parilla and Alberto Encinas as Chelsea come forward on the right, gobbled up by Leno, and then Iwobi brings it clear.
I've not seen as much of Josh King's second half. I think that's partly because Chelsea have had a word and got Lavia to occupy him a little bit more, and also his energy levels have dropped a little bit.
Chelsea thinking about making a change when they haven't got the ball. Chelsea very much looks as if they've got almost 5 strung across the back line. Here is Palacios trying to get in between Lavia and James and then send the ball into the inside right channel, but he's marshalled well, Josh King, by Harto, who then tries to bring the ball out of defence and then draws the foul from Garcia. Garcia, I think he did well to pressurise Harto into making a mistake. The referee John Brooks comes to Harto's aid.
Didn't look a foul to me. It's a good effort of the pass from Palacios. Harto does well. He wins the ball. I mean, I don't know.
John Brooks giving the foul in Chelsea's favour, and that got Harto out of a bit of an issue because actually he did well initially, then almost gave the ball away. Chelsea are going to make some changes here, and I think they need to because Harto just went down with cramp, didn't he? And looks like Enzo Fernandez is going to come off the bench here for Chelsea.
Yeah, sensible. Fernandez's experience.
And Chavarria as well, their new signing. Shay Charles is going to come on over on the far side for Fulham as well. Fulham 2, Chelsea 3, and changes galore. Here is Lavia coming off, and on comes the very popular Enzo Fernandez, World Cup finalist, possibly a man who might be at Manchester City before the end of the window, not a man that's going to be very popular at any away ground. And Pep Chavarria comes on to replace Jarell Harto for his debut. I'm sure you were popular at every ground that you went to away from home, but Enzo Fernandez particularly unpopular, and Reece James has had to go over and just have a word with him a little bit just to make sure he doesn't get distracted by that. It's all to do with behaviour at the World Cup, I think. Just a little bit. Ball sent long, Up towards Rodgers, doesn't win it, picked up by Fernandes, who gets roundly booed every time he touches the ball. Rodgers has got it again. Fernandes once more, back to the halfway line.
It's actually not easy. I have had it a couple of times and it's really off-putting.
How much does it affect your game? You say off-putting, what do you mean by that? Here's Champon going down the right, has his shirt pulled by Palacios, comes in field, gives it to Palmer. He's being tugged back but weaves his way past Iwobi. It's given out to the right to Champon, but he cuts it back. He was offside anyway. Yeah, just explain what it feels like. Tell me what it's like.
Well, you just feel under more pressure every time you get the ball, and like they're waiting for something bad to happen. So if you give the ball away or somebody smashes you in a tackle, it's amplified. You know, you start over-analysing things and trying to be more careful or more precise instead of just playing naturally. I'm talking about me and my experience. It was at Old Trafford, and it was quite a lot of people doing it. So maybe at the Cottage it wouldn't have been so bad.
Shea Charles is coming on for a Fulham debut. He comes in place of Oscar Bob. £30 million from Southampton, signed on August the 11th. He's a bit of a ball winner. It means there's going to be a slight change here.
I'm amazed at Oscar Bob coming off.
Well, King's going to go out, isn't he, to this near side, and Shea Charles is going to go into the middle just to bolster that midfield, I think. Interesting to see where Iwobi ends up now. I think he might end up going a little bit further forward, don't you?
We'll have a look, but I just don't understand. Well, he obviously knows their fitness levels and how they're training, but Oscar Bob's the one player in the second half looks like he can make things happen and beat people.
Fernandes through to João Pedro, then on to Rodgers, looks for the return, goes to Gusto instead. Pedro waiting in the centre, so is Chavarria, who brings it down left side of the box. He's got three waiting in the centre. He sends it high, but it's too much, and it goes over João Pedro and Morgan Rodgers, and it's cleared away by Anthony Robinson. Maxence Lacroix does well in his duel with Gonzalo Garcia, nudges the ball away. The ball comes off a Fulham player and goes out for a throw-in on this near touchline for Chelsea, getting a bit spicy out there now. And I think actually the introduction of Enzo Fernandez again has just made it a little bit more niggling. Here is Palmer carrying the ball down the right-hand side for Chelsea, who lead by 3-2. But ever since that goal from Gonzalo Garcia, the momentum of the game has just slowed a little bit, just tipped just a little bit in the favour of the hosts, who are roundly booing Enzo Fernandez every time he gets the ball. Out to a Champon, then on to Palmer, gets it caught between his legs but manages to manipulate the ball away from Robinson on the right angle of the penalty area. He gives it back to James and then clipped over the top by Enzo Fernandez. A Champon's got forward here, tucks it back in the 6-yard box looking for Gusto, stabbed away by Cuenca, and then Palacios tries to come forward with the ball. Good command of the football by him, and then Castagna gets it up and it's flicked round the corner by Gonzalo Garcia. Palacios looked to escape. Lacroix read it brilliantly, drew the foul and then saw the ball out of play, and that was good defending by the Frenchman.
Yeah, Palacios has grown into the game a little. He's tidy, he's technically good, but he's running on empty at the minute. I'm amazed they can't see that on the other side, the coaching staff. He really is running on empty.
He's only 21, isn't he?
Oh no, I'm not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's worked really hard without the ball, but it's his first start in the Premier League.
His senior football minutes so far have been 7 substitute cameo appearances in senior football. This is all very new to him, isn't it?
But that's why they should be looking after him. They've got good players on the bench. They've got Sessegnon, they've got Emile Smith-Rowe. Even Josh King's looking a little bit leggy now, which is understandable again. Young lad, he's worked himself into the ground. He's had a real impact on the game.
Last 20, Fulham 2, Chelsea 3 on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. And we are in the oldest football postcode in London. Fulham founded in 1879, the original professional club in London. They've called Craven Cottage home since 1896. The cottage still sits in the corner away to our left-hand side. It's a listed building. The Johnny Haynes stand that we're in is protected by law, and the Thames runs directly behind the Riverside stand over on the far side. If you're just joining us, picture
that's why it's called the Riverside.
The rowing boats drifting past the Premier League ground. It's a bit of a picture. It's a bit of a different Riverside though to Middlesbrough Stadium.
Yeah.
Here is Gusto. It's a very picturesque. Not saying that Middlesbrough isn't picturesque, but this is extremely picturesque. The walk up to the cottage, always a beautiful place to meander. Here is João Pedro, who can't control the ball in the left corner of the field. It goes out from Bassi, and it's away for a goal kick. Looks like we're going to get maybe another change very shortly.
Another two.
Sessignon getting ready over on the far side, I think. And we're going to get to see Kevin. We are. It's like Kevin and Sessignon over on that far touchline are going to
be great if they had a sub called Perry, wouldn't it?
Well, we've got a sub called Perry. He's on every Sunday on Game Day Live. Here is Bernd Leno over on the far side, finding Anthony Robinson. It's cleared away from the left fullback position up into the middle of the Fulham half, won by James. Rogers trying to bring it down, miscontrolled it. Berger gets hold of it. 71 gone, 3-2 Chelsea away at Craven Cottage. Here is Shea Charles, the new signing. He's got support from Palacios. Palacios back to Shea Charles. And then infield it goes to Sonderberger. Tomorrow night we've got Around the Ground show in the Carabao Cup second round. Commentary on TalkSport 2. Nottingham Forest against Leeds United. Wednesday night, 2 commentaries for you. TalkSport and TalkSport 2. And then on Thursday night we're back with Chelsea. They play Luton. Jack Wilshere's Luton. And that's on Thursday. 7:30 kickoff, that one, a bit of an earlier kickoff time. Ball clipped out towards the far side. Taken down by Anthony Robinson of Fulham. Fizzed into Josh King.
Good ball. Got to fizz it into those areas, yeah. Got to get hold of it there. It was a good ball.
Up it goes to King this time, and he turns and runs at Lacroix. Comes infield, right footed shot, down towards the near corner. It's only narrowly wide, and it had Sanchez scrambling. That was much better. He took that and ran at Lacroix, and he cut in on his right foot, and he drew the shot down low to the goalkeeper's right, and he wasn't too far away from making it 3-3.
Oh, he's just pulled it a little bit. He's done the hard work. Just felt maybe he could have gone the other way, but he's tried to give the keeper the eyes, and he just chugs it past the post. Good effort from Josh King.
Palacios off and Kevin on.
Sonderberger.
And off comes Sonderberger, and he is going to be replaced by Ryan Sessignon. And that is going to be interesting, isn't it? I mean, I suppose again that means a little bit of jiggery pokery, does it? So I take it Sessignon will go out to the left-hand side, and Kevin comes out to the right. Iwobi goes back into that more central, deeper position alongside Shea Charles, and Josh King goes back to the 10 where he's been effective so far. Something like that. Actually, Sessignon looks as if he's coming out to the right-hand side, and Kevin over on the left takes on a Champong now. Under the floodlights at Craven Cottage, he moves into the wing position. It's stabbed away by an alert Champong. And I think out of all of the Chelsea defenders, Lacroix and Champong have done very well tonight. Champong, the youngest of that trio at the back, and maybe a bit of a surprise inclusion as Chelsea prepare yet another substitute. Is that Pedro Neto, who's been heavily linked with a move away over on the far side? I think it is. Fernandez. This is Josh King. The ball goes back to Chavarria, who glides it all the way to Lacroix. He steps in and gives it to Robert Sanchez. 16 to go.
Who came off there? Palacios and
Sonderberger,
yeah. At least he's going for it. I like that. Why not? Got pace now on both sides.
Palmer tries to go past Iwobi. Does so with ease, gets to the touchline, continues to trundle down into the path of Gusto, who gets robbed by Robinson, and he didn't really have the wherewithal to be able to evade the challenge of the USA international fullback. Rogers puts pressure on Robinson as he attempts to clear, and it goes up to the halfway line. Gonzalo Garcia holds on to it, does well. He'll be happy with his nice work, and Kevin tries to release Josh King. A foul by Reece James, a yellow card for the Chelsea captain. And a bit of an argument from Reece James. He's pointing in the face of the youngster from Fulham, Josh King.
I think he's saying
he's wagging his finger, Reece James, at Josh King.
We'll have a look now.
Well, he can't have any complaints about the yellow card. He tugged him back. He put his arm over his shoulder and pulled him back.
He did. I don't really know what he's wagging his finger at him for.
This will be interesting. Malagusto is coming off, and Pedro Neto is coming on. So Malagusto off, and on comes Pedro Neto to play at right wing back. Here is Castagna down the right-hand side, in towards the near post. A little flick by Garcia, didn't connect with it, and it's away by a Champon again. And then there's a foul on the edge of the box by Fernandez. Is there? No.
Give him a yellow.
Dive from Bassi, and he gets a yellow for simulation.
Yeah, I think he's probably right there, the ref. He's got a couple wrong tonight, but I think he's got that one spot on.
Well, Calvin Bassi went over as he approached the edge of the penalty area there, and there was absolutely no touch from Enzo Fernandez at all. That is a pathetic dive.
It was. You tell him later.
No, I'll leave that to you. I'll say
I don't know why he did it, because he had half a chance to get. Once he took the touch, he might have overrun it a little bit, but
yeah. If you're listening, by the way, please don't at him and tell him that on X or any of his social media accounts either. If you are going to be tempted to do that, my name's @Alex Crook.
He'll probably look back and say it was a really bad effort. Yeah,
he'll have a laugh and a joke. He's fine. He's as I mentioned earlier, he's a great character. Fulham 2, Chelsea 3
on
TalkSport. Beep, beep, beep. Here is Bassi up to the halfway. The brilliant Calvin Bassi to Charles, and then all the way back to Bernd Leno. And Chelsea at the moment heading for 3 points on the opening day of the season for the first time in a long time, but Robinson is escaping here in behind him. He loops it over the goalkeeper and he's missed the target. Well, he got him behind the defence and they were backpedaling at pace. A Champon was trying to keep up with him and he couldn't quite, and as it landed on the edge of the box, he looped it over the advancing goalkeeper, but he missed the target by a good 3 foot.
What a ball that is from Cuenca. Criticised him earlier, but that's a terrific ball, and I love the fact he's taking it early on his right foot, because Sanchez has come out, just needs to lob it over him, but he pushes it too far right. Wonderful opportunity for Robinson.
Look at Sanchez's face. He knew if that was on target, big trouble. That would have been 3-3. Probably should have been 3-3 actually. It isn't.
Not easy, those chances, but yeah, I mean, with that much to aim at, the only thing you'd say, it's on his weak foot.
Yeah, and Anthony Robinson, with all due respect, is never going to be the most prolific of goal scorers.
Maybe not, but it was a hell of a burst to get in behind, wasn't it?
It was. Only one last season in an injury-interrupted season last campaign. Here is Josh King in the centre circle, and Bassi's going through the centre. Sessegnon going down the right, being watched by Chavarria. Goes back into midfield and Shea Charles. Iwobi wanted it a little bit early, but they've gone backwards rather than forwards.
Yeah, he's got to have a bit more confidence than that. He's got lots of space to go into, and he's just looking safe. You get it first game for your new team, but show a bit more belief in yourself.
Yeah, he was almost a little bit hesitant, wasn't he? You could sort of see the contouring as he played the ball back towards Cuenca, and he does that again on the edge of the centre circle. 79 on the clock now on TalkSport. Fulham 2, Chelsea 3, with a sports bar coming your way at 10:30. We'll be giving you all the interviews as well as the ball goes into the box from Kevin. It's a low ball, it wasn't great, and it's repelled to the halfway line. João Pedro holds it up really well and waits for Neto to join on the right. Neto back in field to João Pedro, a bit of space for him. Cole Palmer stumbling but keeping hold of the ball. Oh, what's happened there? Something's gone on the back of his leg. It's not his calf, is it? It's chipped forward towards João Pedro. João Pedro almost got there, and Cole Palmer's got a big problem. He's looking at the sky here. And what's happened here? Well,
I think he maybe maybe hit a little divot or hole in the ground.
He needs to be changed, he said.
Oh, did he?
I don't know. What is that? He's hobbling now over to the far side. But immediately he pulled up, didn't he? He started to hobble, and he held the back of his right calf. I wondered, the way it happened, there was no one around him. I wondered whether or not it was like an Achilles or something, first of all, but it would have been a much more pain if that was the case.
Well, let's give him a minute and see. Fingers crossed for him, because that's the last thing he needs.
Yeah, especially after this performance that he's had.
We're just testing it now.
Do you think it might be a little bit of calf cramp?
Could be.
Couldn't
yeah,
it?
could be. Hope so.
10 minutes to go. Ball sent over the top for Chavarria to chase with Castagna, and it goes straight out of play and away for a goal kick. They are going to make the change, though, I think, Chelsea. And it's probably best, I think, not to take any chances. Fulham also going to make another alteration.
Although, Sam, I'm not sure if it was Cramp he'd go off so quickly, you know.
Yeah. He then turned around and sort of said, I need to change. And then he went 2, then he went again, and now Xabi Alonso is having a word with him, and they're trying to get clarification. Ball kicked long by Sanchez, taken down by Robinson. Was that handball? Muniz is about to come on in search of the equalisers. The ball headed away by Colwell. Enzo Fernandez gives it back to Chavarria, and then Chelsea play out from the back under a bit of pressure from Josh King. They fizz it out to the right hand side, and Champong couldn't keep hold of it. It was a very good tackle from Kevin over on the far touchline, and Fulham have got it back again. It's going to be a long 10 minutes, I think, this for Chelsea, because Fulham are going to throw on Muniz. I wonder if they'll keep Gonzalo Garcia on the pitch as well and try and really go for it. Álvaro Arbeloa not shy to go 4-4-2 as he did at Real Madrid in the second half of last season. Here is Kevin, one of the new wingers that have come off the bench. Gets a return from Anthony Robinson, then tries a little back heel to get him away from Cole Palmer. Palmer, it looks as if he was okay there, wins the foul on the edge of the 18-yard box, and it's going to be a free kick.
He did well, Palmer, because I think he wouldn't have stayed on the pitch if he wasn't trying to get rid of the cramp. That's my gut feeling, and to be able to twist and turn like that with his defensive work.
Number 33, Anthony Robinson.
Anthony Robinson coming off, and Rodrigo Muniz is coming on, so that is a very aggressive change, isn't it?
Yeah, but it looks like he's gone on the right. Oh no, he's gone up top and he's put Josh King on the right. Why not? Yeah, 8 minutes, 10 minutes maybe more.
So Sessegnon will go to left back, I take it. So a bit more moving and jiggery pokery for Arbeloa's team. And Cole Palmer came off there. And who came on for Chelsea? It was Giovanni Quenda who came on.
And Esteval.
Who is he's a firecracker, isn't it? And the other change was the departure of Morgan Rogers, who obviously scored on his first appearance for Chelsea. So Quenda has come out to this left-hand side wearing number 23. If you don't know too much about him, he's someone that Chelsea did a deal with in March 2025 to become a Chelsea player, and he only ended up coming in this summer. He broke teenage scoring records in Portugal, won the title there in 24-25. And he's a Chelsea player now for £40 million. And Esteval missed the World Cup but made a massive impact at Chelsea last season. Here is Castagna and Bassi being chased by Quenda on this near side, all the way back to the goalkeeper. And then we'll look to build from the back. Plenty more Premier League action coming your way over the next week. Friday night, Crystal Palace against Manchester City, live on TalkSport. Saturday lunchtime, Liverpool take on Nottingham Forest. Next Monday night, Danny and I will be at Aston Villa's Villa Park, where they welcome the champions of England, Arsenal. You can hear all 3 of those games live right here on TalkSport. Cuenca forward over the top for Sessegnon to chase. A Champon gets back at him, but Sessegnon gets there at the second attempt and volleys the ball to the near post. It's saved by Sanchez, who pushes it out for a corner.
He's unlucky, Sessegnon. That's twice the Champong's been done in behind. Probably got some tired legs himself because he's had a good evening.
He recovered really well initially, and then the bounce of the ball favoured Sessegnon, and he rifled that towards the near post. It was stopped by Sanchez. Kevin's corner is a horrible flat delivery, which is easily dealt with by the Chelsea defence. Sessegnon returns it. Quenda just sort of pokes it into the air. It bounces once or twice towards the near touchline. Garcia wrestles with it. The ball goes out of play. No foul given. And Garcia gets things moving again for Fulham, who want the equaliser. 5 minutes to go. They've scored late goals at Craven Cottage a lot, especially in the back end of the season. I remember commentating on a Harry Wilson goal very late in the game. Remember Harrison Reed's goal against Liverpool, a late absolute stunner last season. Forward by João Pedro. Quenda on the chase. Leno's going to get there first. He's just outside his penalty area, then comes back in to pick it up with his fingers and shovel it into the path of Shea Charles. It's going to be an interesting last 5 minutes, Dan.
It is. Might as well go for it now. Just commitment forward, take the risk, get men in the box like this. They can get a cross in.
Kevin trying to get beyond James. James went to dive in, realised he couldn't do so, and then it was good defending by Champong that draws a round of applause from the captain as he prods the ball to safety and out for a throw-in. On the left touchline, the ball's tossed in by Sessegnon to Iwobi. He trundles forward, looks for Calvin Bassey. Bassey now tries to play it out to the right-hand side, but it's behind Castagna and goes out of play and away for a goal kick. I think it went to King first and then King put it out of play.
Yeah, it was, and actually Castagna made a great little run, but King's head was down. That's the one where you just play it blind inside the fullback.
Old friends, Alonso and Arbeloa, foes for one evening only. Here is Esteval, picking the ball up centre field, swirling it out to the right, looking for Neto. Neto takes it down, runs up towards the edge of the area. He's got João Pedro, Quenda and Enzo Fernandez in the box. It's aimed in towards João Pedro, who heads it into the air. It's half cleared by the Fulham defence. Not a great touch by Muniz, who puts it back into his own penalty area. Quenda gets Chelsea back on the front foot. Chavarria tries to keep it in with a little flick and then falls off the pitch, which is much to the delight of the Fulham supporters, and it's a throw-in the right full-back position for Fulham as we go into the final 3.5 minutes of the game on TalkSport. It's Chelsea 3, Fulham 2.
Just watching Chelsea's break there. Garcia, who's the centre forward for Fulham, obviously, he sprinted about 70-80 yards back to get back in the box and try and defend that cross for his team.
Well, industry and work rate certainly non-negotiable with Álvaro Arbeloa. It's one of his big tenets, and as you've seen tonight, you know, they've worked their socks off man to man. Sometimes it's going to be exciting, that's for sure. Here is Garcia trying to win a header with Pedro Neto, clears from the right fullback position, then slides off the pitch himself, and it goes out for a throw-in down by the corner flag with 3 to go. This is TalkSport, the tension rising at the Cottage. Chelsea leading by 3 goals to 2. Esteval trying to wriggle out of a tight spot far side. Kevin, his fellow Brazilian, has nabbed it, and then it's been won back by the Portuguese. Neto up to Willian again, who races to halfway, tries to push it into Neto's path but didn't get enough on it. Shea Charles mops up and Fulham have it back again. Garcia links the play well, it goes down the left for Sessegnon, who loves to get forward. Now he's playing at left back. And Charles went in and tried to cause a Champong a problem. The ball spills into midfield. Chelsea try to clear it, but it's picked up by Fulham, who want to return it with interest. Tempo's still high even at this late stage. In fact, the tempo hasn't slowed.
It's been really good.
The entire game. It's been a brilliant football match. Brilliant Monday night. That's a bad touch by Castagna, nabbed by Colwell, and then Castagna fouls Colwell. That's going to be a yellow card for the Fulham fullback.
That's that tired touch when you've given everything. Look, hands on knees, breathing in.
And Chelsea will just slow down now and take the free kick, because although the timing's over corners and goal kicks and throw-ins very much in vogue with the new laws of the game, there's no such demand on free kicks, so Chelsea, I'm sure, will try their best to slow the game. Enzo Fernandez from Colwell, then back to Quenda, back to Enzo Fernandez again, and then Colwell gets it all the way back to the goalkeeper Sanchez. Sanchez to Lacroix. Lacroix chips it forward into the inside right channel. It's missed by Sessegnon. Neto breathing down his neck, forces him to put the ball behind and out for a corner. There's a mistake that by Sessegnon.
Yeah, he slashed it with weak foot. Just got to concentrate there. Don't go for power, just go for contact. Just make a good contact and get it back going the other way.
Xabi Alonso minutes away from doing what 3 Chelsea managers before him couldn't, win an opening weekend match. The last one that they won was 2022. Here is the corner to be taken far side. Esteval standing over it. He's got João Pedro right next to him. The 2 Brazilians conspiring to run the clock down here as we go into the final minute of the 90. Challenged by Kevin, came off João Pedro last. That was a bit of a waste by Chelsea. They didn't manage that at all well. They've given away a throw-in.
I'd throw Bassey up there personally. He's just such a physical presence. Throw him up there.
Chelsea finished the last season with the worst run since 1993. Alonso starting with a win. His job now is to try and turn this lot into a team that is worth believing in. certainly with the front three they started with tonight. A lot of people will be believing in them. João Pedro flicks it on. Quenda might get in behind here. He shoots, save, comes back to João Pedro. He slams it home. He celebrates, but the flag is up.
It was for Cuenca on the initial run, I think.
Well, there's going to be 4 minutes of added time, and they are just going to hold here and check with VAR. Was it Quenda as the ball went up to him? Yeah, he's miles offside. It's definitely offside.
Well, a yard.
Well, it's definitely offside. A yard is definitely offside, yeah. Arsene Wenger hasn't got his way yet, mate.
No.
Kevin tries to take the ball off of Neto. Goes out of play. It's going to be a Chelsea throw. Fulham fans over there didn't like that. Danny wants the Fulham players to squeeze up and put them under pressure.
Yeah, just go all man for man. Just go all in. Got 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
Xabi Alonso about to deliver a victory on opening night, unless Fulham can drag themselves back into it. It's picked up by Muniz, didn't hold on to it, he has had no impact since coming on to the field of play, Rodrigo Muniz.
I think there's been some really positive things for both teams, but also from a Chelsea perspective, you know, there's been a bit of title talk, and not that I'm looking at tonight.
It's an early part of the season.
I know, one game, but they could have conceded 4.
Well, they're going to concede more, I would argue, unless they address some of the big areas of the field that are gaps that need plugging. They probably, I mean, listen, there's defenders to come back into the team, like Fofana, great touch by João Pedro into Estevão, nabbed from him by Ryan Sessegnon, but the goalkeeper one's the big one, isn't it? You know. And it has been for a long time, really, and for whatever reason they stubbornly want to stick with Robert Sanchez, who I'm sure is a great guy and a brilliant lad to have around the team, and he does make some brilliant saves, and we saw that in the Club World Cup. But at the same time, the mistakes are not few and far between. There's too many of them, and they're far too frequent. Forward it goes by Fulham as they hunt this equaliser. Up to Muniz, comes back to Gonzalo Garcia, who strikes it. Lacroix comes across and does well.
Good defending again from Lacroix.
Back out, left it goes. Sessegnon chips the ball into the box, and was there a drag on Garcia? The referee says no, play on. Shea Charles takes it. Castagna now centre circle. We've got 90 seconds of added time to play. Fulham 2, Chelsea 3, and it's 1 and picked up by Neto, who immediately rifles it forward, but Estevão chasing down is not going to get there, and it goes all the way through into the path of the goalkeeper Leno. It's given away by Bassi, picked up by Enzo Fernandez. Quenda's made a forward run.
Why is the goalkeeper playing out to the back player with 60 seconds to go?
Well,
for the love of God, someone tell me. Honestly,
we've seen that actually. Chelsea were criticised for that, weren't they, last season when they were chasing a goal. Champong does well. Estevão wriggles away from Iwobi, moves into centre field. He plays it on to Enzo Fernandez, who lifts it nicely onto Pedro Neto. Neto down the right. Estevão in the centre. So is Enzo Fernandez, João Pedro and Quenda. He turns and goes back towards the corner flag, because running the clock down probably much more preferable. He's done well to hold on to it. He's escaped from 3 challenges. He's moved into the box. He slides it in towards the near post. He went for glory when there were 3 queuing up in the centre. It was a terribly tight angle. He's given the ball away.
Last chance, I think.
Well, if they score from this big goal kick and flick it on and cause a problem for Chelsea, then Pedro Neto will not be the most popular man in the Chelsea dressing room. It's sent long upfield by Neto as they do defend it well. Quenda tries to shut down any attempt from Castagna. The 4-time whistle surely's got to go soon. We've played out 4 minutes of added time. The Chelsea fans want it. Called, it's up towards the edge of the area. Muniz is going to get a strike away. It's straight at Robert Sanchez, who parries it down on the edge of the 6-yard box. And that's the last action of the 90. A terrific 90 minutes of thrilling football on a Monday night in West London. But there are no friends in this game, no past and no mercy. Xabi Alonso takes 3 points on his first night in the Chelsea hot seat, and he takes them from his mate who replaced him at the Bernabeu. João Pedro on the score sheet, Morgan Rogers and Cole Palmer too, and that was enough really to get the new era up and running.
Chelsea had their first opening weekend win in 4 years, the first manager to deliver it since one Thomas Tuchel. It's a warning for Fulham, but they're not going to panic. There were some promising performances in that first 90 for Álvaro Arbeloa. This place here kept them up last season, and it's probably going to be key to their future once again. Arbeloa's first lesson in English football came from the man who knows him best, and it's going to sting tonight because there were some good performances out there. Chelsea, though, take away the 3 points. Full time at the Cottage. It's Fulham 2, Chelsea 3.
Just a three-way hug for the Chelsea goal scorers on the pitch. Pedro, Cole Palmer and Morgan Rogers on Chelsea debut, and smiles all around as well. Those Chelsea players in the end relieved, I would think, to pick up the 3 points, but some of the football they played was absolutely sparkling, and what an attacking game of football it was as well. Well over 30 shots in the game, both sides with an XG of +1, or well over 1, and loads of touches in the box. If you're looking at the stats, it tells you it was a brilliant game. But the eye test, Danny Murphy, we absolutely thoroughly enjoyed that, didn't we? It was brilliant.
We did, and I've got to credit Fulham for having a good go. So they should, first game of the season at home, but they did. They composed themselves after a really wobbly first 5 or 10 minutes where Chelsea could have been a couple up. Palmer, exquisite. I hope he's okay for him and for the Chelsea fans, of course. But
well, he's wandering around the pitch now and shaking hands a bit. He's smiling as well. I think he's all right.
Yeah, but I thought the Chelsea front line at times was unplayable. You know, it's going to be really difficult, however good your back line is and whatever quality you've got there, to keep those three quiet, because if one of them's not at it, the other two are more than capable of winning games on their own. They really are a brilliant three, and it's going to be interesting to see how Chelsea evolve in terms of those wing-back areas, because they're going to have a crucial role in feeding those three. Defensively, there's problems. The keeper's a problem, of course he is. And I'm not convinced by the three centre-halves there tonight either. I know they've got other players to come back in, but there's still not, I've said it before and I'll say it again, that one standout centre-half who you think he's the leader. He's the one that's going to organise the others. He's the one that's going to, in times of difficulty, he's the one that will keep us going. He's the one that will carry us through and calmly get us back into games. And I don't see that they've got one. Yes, lots of excitement at Chelsea this season. I think they'll have games where they'll really hurt teams, score lots of goals, but as for title contenders, no.
Danny Murphy says no. Jason Cundy will be on at 10:30 with Jamie O'Hara taking your calls on the sports bar. 03717223344 if you want to get that number ready, as Morgan Rogers delivers his shirt to a Chelsea fan in the crowd. Interesting that Cole Palmer and Xabi Alonso were having a word with each other, hands over mouths. By the way, that won't be a red card in the Premier League this season, but hands over mouths, and smiling as well. I read the situation that Cole Palmer, I thought it was cramp, and I think he was just saying to the bench, give me 2 minutes to run it off, and in the end they just, right, we don't want to take any chances, off you go. So that's how I saw it.
I think Alonso was probably saying to him after the game, imagine how good you'd be if I was playing with you. I think that's what he said. I think he said, imagine how many times I'd get you the ball. And Palmer went, yeah, I'd love it. But yeah, it's so good to see him playing like that again. I mean, the talent we know, we've seen him. It's just whether he could stay fit, get himself back to that level of sharpness. He looked electric. And obviously he's got Rodgers and João Pedro complimenting him. So there's going to be some good times ahead for Chelsea, but they're a little way off, I think, defensively from competing. I really do.
Maxence Lacroix has just given his shirt. Well, these shirts cost a fortune, by the way, especially the match ones. Blimey.
Well, even in my day, they used to cost you 60 quid a pop.
And you had to pay?
Yeah.
If you gave yours away, you had to pay? Wow, surely they don't make this lot pay.
Well, I mean, even if they do.
They can afford it.
Hey, you could give 10 away a game, couldn't you? 600 quid a game.
But listen, the game itself was a joy to watch, and you're right, let's just focus on Fulham a bit, because I think they showed some quality in there. They definitely showed some fight. They were non-stop. There was energy in there, and that's because they've made themselves a younger squad all round, I guess. But listen, if you're coming up against a front line like that, then you are going to have problems keeping a clean sheet, and hence they've lost the game. But if they could stay that competitive throughout the course of the 38 games, they'll probably be, on the basis of what we've seen today, they'll probably be okay, won't they?
Yeah, I think there's going to be some tweaking to find his best 11, which is fine when you've got young players. Could be from week to week it changes, depending who's training well and who plays well the week before. But there's enough there to work with. I think we heard Tony Khan talking earlier, didn't we, about bringing in some more players. I think that'll happen. They can't really like Garcia did well. He grew into the game. He looks fit. He looks strong. He scored a good goal. That'll do him the world of good. I don't think they can rely I think they need a bit more in forward areas so that they can mix it up a bit and have a bit more power coming off the bench. Mooney he's not reliable enough, so I expect.
Are you talking about an out-and-out number 9 there? Because they had Kevin and Smith Rowe on the bench.
Yeah, I mean out-and-out number 9.
Right, okay,
another forward player. Yeah, maybe someone who's a bit more experienced, a bit more rounded. Maybe not the pace and the energy, but someone who they can play off a little. Yeah, that's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think there will be some movement. I think they look fit, they look game. The biggest plus for me for Fulham tonight was Josh King and Oscar Bobb, who are both, obviously one signed, one's come through the academy. Both evolving, both looking comfortable, both look sharp, both look like impactful in the game, and that's the biggest plus for Fulham to me, watching those two tonight.
Josh King was absolutely superb. Had Fulham won, he might be in with a shout of man of the match. It's time now for us to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
The last few times I've done this, I've tried to second guess and got it wrong, so I'm not going to bother. Danny Murphy, who are you going for?
It's the easiest one I've done in such a long time. Cole Palmer by a mile. Best player on the pitch. Just looked a million miles ahead of everyone else. Thinks quicker, does things. He's just absolute pleasure to watch him. If I could watch him every week, I'd love it.
And I think it showed that when we thought he might have been properly injured there, we were all a bit, oh no, because we want to watch good players. Not that we're Chelsea fans, far from it, but we want to watch good players play football in the Premier League and push their claims to be in the England side as well. It's a bit like how gutted I was when Enciso had to go off with cramp for Ipswich at the weekend. He went off and I was really gutted because Cole Palmer was magnificent.
I think him at his best, if you're looking at any other club, if you said to any other club supporter, which player would you take from anywhere else, it would be him. Okay, you might go Haaland because of the goals, but in terms of creativity, number 10s, wide players, if you're saying pick a forward player for your team, he's the one. At his best, I just don't see someone else. Bellingham, yeah, he's not in the Prem, but Bellingham's a step above. He's probably the only one. But sorry, we had some, don't know what he was saying there.
I had no idea.
But Cole Palmer at the moment in the Premier League, when he's at it, he's the best 10.
I would say that as well, and it's different to last season because last season I don't think he was fully fit ever. He certainly wasn't as good as we've seen tonight and as good as we know he can be. So if Chelsea have got a fit and firing Cole Palmer all season, I mean, they're going to be right up there, which they weren't last season.
Well, he makes that big difference. We saw that the season before. In terms of numbers, he wants to be looking to. He's capable of hitting the numbers Bruno Fernandes did last season. He's that good. I mean, he should be looking at those numbers because he can create and score. We've seen that tonight, and he will get to those numbers if
he's better than Bruno, isn't he? Come on.
Well, he wasn't last year, obviously. Bruno was the best player, best 10 in the league.
Both at their best. Cole Palmer.
Well, also he's 8-10 years younger. I mean, 8 years younger, whatever he is. Palmer at his best is who I'd want because he's magical. He makes things happen, and he's so comfortable on the ball. That position in that system is perfect for him because if he plays on the right in a 4-3-3. He's got to do more defending. And if he plays in a 10 sometimes, in a 4-2-3-1 if you like, it gets so chaotic in the middle of the pitch. The numbers in there, people stopping him, it's easier. There's so many bodies around him. When you play that system with the 3-5 or the 3-4-3, because he can come in and drift in from wide and then drift back out and go where he wants, you don't see him coming as easily. I think that system is perfect for Rodgers and Palmer, and I would be amazed if he tweaks that system now.
I'm going to talk to you more about the system and what it did for Chelsea in this opening game of the season in a moment, but Cole Palmer, our Here For It hero, man of the match from today's game with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
the Here For It hero on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here For It. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Well, coming up, we'll have a full review of Fulham 2, Chelsea 3. We'll have a look back at some of the big fixtures of the weekend. Man United beating the draw between Newcastle and Liverpool, and we'll ask if anyone can stop Arsenal. The Sports Bar gets underway at 10:30. Make a note of the number, 03717223344. It is O'Hara and Cundy at 10:30. Till then, we're live from Craven Cottage.
Kick off live on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the biggest Premier League games flexibly with Now. Like Fulham versus Chelsea live today. 18 plus, stream via internet, terms apply.
Go.